The company's excuse, migrants are getting the jobs that Americans don't want. A human resources executive for the company telling Bloomberg the migrants have been, quote, very loyal. They've been uprooted, and what they want is stability. What they want is a sense of belonging.
Let's bring in Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth. Pete, good to see you. Yes. But again, lower wages, taking American jobs. This was the reason why Democrats were opposed to illegal immigration 10, 15, 25 years ago. But here it plays out. This costs Americans a livelihood.
That's true. It was also the reason why the Chamber of Commerce crowd of the Republican Party was so resistant to Donald Trump back in 2015, 2016, dependent on importing cheap labor. He said, we're going to build that wall. We're going to stop this. I'm going to put Americans first. Wages will rise as a result. And now you've got an inversion of that with the Democrat Party saying, come on in. And then you've heard glimpses of it, right? When Nancy Pelosi said, who else is going to pick our crops, right? And that's their mindset. And the businesses are happy to do it when there's no e-verifier, there's no consequences. And so cheaper labor for this business to produce a product. And it's not an easy job. You know, people that do those jobs, they're dirty, they're tough, but Americans should have the first shot, and they should have a good shot at a good wage.
And it's so
man, oh man.
Well. Mm-hmm.
Feeling like Nick Fury.
Hey man, once again, the good brother El Malik Al Sabaj, aka Malcolm X, aka Malcolm Little, always says a man's greatest strength can also be his greatest weakness. My diversity and my intellectual upbringing and my lifestyle makes me see things from both sides of the coin. So I didn't hear one lie in there, because I could tell you this, as a person who was economically devastated and worked my way back through the pandemic, they're 100% right. Americans do have the first shot at those jobs, and they don't want them. We have a whole generation of people that don't want to work, bro. That don't want to work. They don't want to work. The job I have at CSC, I'm guarding, watching, entertaining, anything that a young person wants to do. All the musicians, rappers, and entertainers that they look up to and respect, they would have the opportunity to not only go to see the shows, not only to work backstage and in the crowd, but get paid to do it, and they still don't want to do it. You don't get drug tested. You don't get drug tested. So you don't have no reason. And the same way that you can stand out in front of the stadium, you can stand in the stadium, is the same way you standing on the corner smoking L's. You standing on the corner selling dope. So I don't see the difference. They just don't want to do it. And it's not just a black thing anymore. It's a universal thing where we have a whole generation of people who feel entitled to a living without working for it. And they rather scam you, hustle you, or flim-flam you out of it. I'm not denying anything that they're saying about the immigrations, but I also know plenty of immigrants who will take those jobs and take them gladly, because what they living in back in their country, this shit is like paradise to them. 85% of the people in the world, 85% of the people in the world live in a situation where they don't have their own bed to sleep or running water. 85% of the people in the world. This is why America, no matter how much we think it's a racist, undignified, disrespectful place, and it is, but to people who live in way worse situations, they see it totally different. And that's why them folks can come over here and succeed while we fail. Yeah, they get help from the government. Yeah, having a culture that they can depend upon and relate to helps them out a lot. But we got way, way more money and way, way, way more political connections and way, way, way more advantages that we don't use. So, of course, if you not doing the job that you was created for, unfortunately, we was brought here to be workers. We don't work no more. So what they need us for? We don't take care of ourselves. So why should anybody else take care of us? Taking care of yourself and taking care of your own is your own responsibility. And we got to do a better job of that.
I want to ask a question. Why are these things happening? You know,
because they plan that.
Symptoms.
They plan that.
But why?
They plan to happen.
How did they,
They always need a
some of the
permanent
reason
underclass.
I would propose that some of the reason why this is happening is because we spend too much time infighting about stupid shit. Now we take our lives here for granted, and we so much so that we'll spend the whole day arguing with people about some shit that we disagree about that's not paying us nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Women across ranches, dodging the good old boys, climbing electric fences and shit, climbing through razors. You know what I'm saying? I can't nobody for that. One thing that we gotta understand is why is it right now is it so easy to just diddy bop into the United States when you can't
Diddy
even
Bop.
walk you can't even you can't
Diddy Bop.
Ow.
you can't even get out of this motherfucker. You know, I had you know, we got a lot of brothers and sisters that, you know, that practice self-hate to the point that they use people talking points. And I had a brother tell me, well, if you love Africa so much, why don't you just leave America? Why don't you just get out of America? Right? And what he don't know is that with people trying to get their passport, the average time for his passport is like 4 to 9 weeks, right? And if you live in the state of New York, or if you was born in the state of New York, right? It takes 180 days for them to print a birth certificate so you can get a passport. So understand what's happening. They can write you a ticket on the spot. They got those little things where you can get a ticket on the spot. But you got people that's applying for a passport, I mean a birth certificate so they can get their passport, and it takes 180 days for them to print a document and send it to you. They literally trying to
All right.
keep you. So it's the process. I'm getting the fuck out of here. They slowing you up as much as possible. Case in point, if you know, I heard people even say Marcus Garvey is the agent. You know, all right, well, if Marcus Garvey is the agent, then why did they deport him and stop his movement? If he was telling black people, yo, let's go to Africa, right? Why did they stop that? You know what I'm saying? The same U.S. government put out a pamphlet and brochures and basically a raven to all the businesses in America. Hey, embrace this black dollar as a $1 billion market, and
Hey, I
gave
like
a
that.
step. But they gave a
I like that
step-by-step
Game of
blueprint.
Thrones reference. Sending the Raven. I like that Game of Thrones reference.
Right. They left a
Mhm.
blueprint on how to sell to sell to the Negro. So these people understand that black people in this country, no matter what they call themselves, they help to keep the GDP right where they want it to be. So if you got somebody coming along like Marcus Garvey that's saying, hey, let's go back to Africa, that stands to hurt the money flow here, because black people will take their spending habits to a whole nother continent. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Can I
so,
build? Can
so
I build off that point? You say you like my history knowledge as a history major. What you just said is the key to understanding everything. Marcus Garvey was cool until he said, let's go back to Africa. Jesus was cool until he said, stop paying the Pharisees the money, the taxes. As long as Martin Luther King was cool until he started talking about taking people to the World Court and organizing the sanitation workers union into a strike. As long as you don't fuck with the money, you can pretty much say and do what you want. That's where this is a free country. When you're not fucking with the money, when you just providing entertainment and stimulation or even education, even knowledge, as long as nobody ain't really following you and doing what you say. Like let's be
Right.
honest. You know, I don't want to troll nobody. I don't like hurting people's feelings no more. I used to get a big I used to get a big thrill out of getting on people's nerves and, you know, proving how smart I am and winning the arguments and all that. None of that shit matters if you alienate your fan base and the people you try to help, or if you so arrogant and conceited that every time you talk to somebody, they already on the defensive. No matter how many good acts, if somebody feels uncomfortable around you, they automatically going to turn you off. And when I read the 48 Laws of Power, and they say always seem dumber than your mark, that people will forgive you for slapping them. People may forgive you for stealing from them. People may even forgive you for fucking their wife, but they will never forgive you for showing them or proving to them that you're smarter than them. If you make somebody feel dumb, bro, they will hate you for the rest of your life.
Right.
So
And
I've learned.
it's crazy. It's crazy that you say that because
And Red Pill, you the biggest victim of that. You make everybody. You always the smartest person in the room, bro.
I have more detractors around me than people who actually help me to get over the hill. You know what I'm saying? It's more people that's like you walking through the shit like Jesus Christ. You got people who got receipts. All these people who kicking and punching and throwing shit at me, they all got a favor from me in their back pocket. You know what I'm saying? And I carry the cross for them. You know what I'm saying? And when they gonna crucify me. They're gonna crucify me. And this is crazy.
Given
it's
a
like,
chance.
yo, y'all really serious. Y'all really serious about this. Given the fact that I'm here to help y'all. And y'all don't swell up on your oppressor, right? You don't swell up on the person who made you walk the trail of tears. You don't swell up on the person who forced you to with vaccine mandates or poison your food or spraying shit in the air. You ain't got no smoke for them. You know what I'm saying? But look, but
Forever
little old
chemicals.
me who trying to help you and try to galvanize the people and get us to get together and put those little differences aside to come together for our benefit. I'm the enemy. I'm the bad guy. I'm the
Hey
motherfucker
man,
that you got to converge on.
that go back to that intellectual infighting as a sense of when you help people or you're just natural way you get down. You always provide knowledge. You always got something to say that makes somebody think. Okay, if somebody already think they smart, or if somebody already think they know something, or if somebody believe in something, this is why I'm starting to be against the thing of belief. Because when you believe something and somebody comes along and says something that challenges your belief or even makes you think about your belief, now you mad at that person. That's not
You know
a
you know what I
human.
say? You know what I say to people when they say that? They start talking to me about belief. I say I don't believe nothing. And that shit fucks them up. They like, what? What you mean? I don't believe anything. A belief is saying, look, I don't know how this works, but it's working. I don't deal with that. I don't deal with blank spots of knowledge. It's I have to know. It's either I know or I don't know.
Right.
And guess what? I'm cool with knowing. And I'm cool with being wrong. Because eventually I'm gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, listen, sometimes you gotta be wrong to get right.
How do you think you get right? Scientific discovery, one discovery came after 1,000 mishaps, 1,000 wrongs, 1,000 theories that was proved wrong. How many people you think died of poison mushrooms before they realized which mushrooms you could eat and didn't eat? That's real talk, bro. Like a bunch of people had to die before they realized, hey, we can't eat them mushrooms. We can only eat them mushrooms. Like that's past belief. Like when they call Thor, when they call Thor the Thunder God, bro, that's because people from his culture literally believe that when thunder came, a scientific process that we can explain now, they attributed that to some mythical god in the sky. And when I realized that the word God is just a word for a higher being, a power, it totally changed the whole concept of the Bible. It totally changed the whole concept of your belief, per se. So when you talked about etymology, I know that etymology is the study of words and what words mean. And again, from fucking with Red Pill and being a teacher and the youth, how they change culture and they change words on a daily basis, you really have to be careful out here because the words that we think they mean something totally different to somebody else. And this is why I have a hard time with people who go by the Bible and the Quran when they don't understand that certain Arabic words and certain Hebrew words, not only do they mean something different, they don't mean anything at all in English. You understand what I'm trying to say? You live in your
Yeah,
whole
they
life
don't translate.
of something you believe to be true. And I'm gonna give you this one
Right.
little example of what I'm talking about. You'll understand real clear. Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, I'm washing clothes. It was a beautiful day. It was one of them days when it was sunshine. You know, we had a bunch of days in Philly recently where it's been like spring type weather and you could just be out. So I'm washing my
Right.
clothes and the laundromat happens to be, unfortunately, on the drug corner. So the old heads
Okay.
is out there on one side, the young boys is out there on the other. It's the laundromat, it's the deli, it's the bar, it's the Chinese store. Typical four corners of death, any hood in America, just so happens to be the hood I live at. So I'm washing my clothes. I come outside. We smoking L's, we freestyling, we ciphering. Old heads on one side, young boys on the other. That's how it go down. I'm the only bridge between two worlds, bro. I'm like that in every hood. Like wherever I'm at, I'm the bridge between the old heads and the young boys. Make a long story short, boy, another old head fixing his car. He asked one of his young boys that's still an old head. He said, "Yo, get my ratchet." Soon as he say that, all the young boys on the other side of the street get the goofy ass look on their face and
Yeah,
start
yeah,
reaching. I'm like,
yep.
"Yo, bro, chill." They like, "Oh, here,
You
what's up?"
already
I
know
said,
where that
"Man,
was going.
chill." In our day, a ratchet literally was a tool that you used to fix a car or do construction work with. Then it
Right. Right.
became the status of a ratchet chick, or that's a ratchet condition. Now, ratchet mean gun, a tool. So
Right.
just that
And
little thing. Look how quick we've been alive for all three of them word changes. We've
right.
been
And see,
alive for all three of them word changes.
Right.
So
because people use words.
Right.
imagine.
Now look, because people use words connotatively. You know what I'm saying? How they heard
Right.
somebody else use it. So when these words mutate, because we interchange slang with English, just like how when you go to court they interchange legalese with English, and you might not be sure if they talking legalese
Yeah.
to you or if they talking actual English to you. So a lot of things get mistranslated connotatively because I assume that you meant this when you said this. So when you say to me, "Do you understand?" Right? And I'm thinking, "Do I comprehend?" And is, "Do I stand under your jurisdiction?" Or if I'm going to court to try to play that role and say, "No, I don't understand," then they can flip back to legalese and to English and say, "Oh, this person is incompetent. Need to put him on meds or something." You know what I'm saying? So like, when I when
Right.
I when our brothers and sisters, watch a video, some, our Moorish brothers and sisters, telling them, the difference between legalese and English, and then they go to court and they try to do that shit because they're not well vested in that shit. A lot of times they get themselves in more trouble than they would have been in. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's like there's nobody there to bail them out. It was somebody there to bail out George Zimmerman. There wasn't nobody to bail out the brothers that went there to try to tell the judge that that they don't stand under the jurisdiction. And the judge said, "Oh, this person in English." You know what I'm saying? So because we use things connotatively, people can play back and forth between us with words. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Hmm.
just like how you were
Yeah,
saying, like with the ratchet, like it's just like how you were saying with the ratchet, because these kids is being conditioned to be like more warlike and shit. You know what I'm saying? Simple words like ratchet,
Hmm.
become offensive. Just like how we said years ago, Philly in Philly, if somebody say "you good," that's a threat. You know what I'm saying?
depending
Hmm.
upon the use and the circumstance, yes.
Right. But if my understanding of "you good" is solely connotative, then if somebody asks me, "Am I okay?" I might perceive that as somebody's challenging me to a fight to the death. You know what I'm saying?
Right. If you're from there.
I mean, it changed, man.
Unnecessary.
It's
All that
it's
results
like
in
an X
unnecessary
thing.
infighting.
In algebra they got that X thing, the variable. It's so many variables with these
Right.
situations, man. It's real complicated to the point where you really don't know who you're dealing with on a daily basis. You just got to go by energy and go with your force field and know you walking with the ancestors because you never know what people is dealing with nowadays. Like we really literally living in. Kevin Gates say we living in the Great Divide. Will you vibrate low or you vibrate high? He said it in a way, I've been on it, but he said it in a
It's a
way where
lack
I
of
could see it. Like,
it all boils down to a lack of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Because people can be intelligent, yes, but sometimes integrity is more important than being intelligent. Because somebody can be smart enough to trick you on something. You know, they might know something is true, and they might not want to support that truth, but they might be smart enough to manipulate or alter or twist and bend the truth to make something that is true look untrue. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
that's life right now. That's what's going on.
So you know,
That's what's
so it's
going
about
on.
it really integrity plays a big role here. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't have the integrity to tell the truth, but they have the intelligence to lie. You know what I'm saying? And make it sound believable. You know, and it's like, man, it's like if we had more integrity, within us and shit, then we would have more harmony. You know what I mean? Just like with the video that we started with. We started with that video to kind of put things in perspective. Is that, yo, we literally arguing our way to the slaughterhouse. Our brothers and
Mm-hmm.
sisters argue about identity and shit.
Historical. Here's
Every,
historical, man. Listen to this. This is some real shit. The Great Depression, the New Deal, whatever you want to call it, whether you want to believe it was intentionally done, what I'm going to say is I believe in chaos, I believe in order, and I believe in, I guess you could basically say, reorganization. They create the problem. They fan the issue. They create the problem. They propose the solution, and it always ends up with more control. After the New Deal, right? David Rockefeller took over the education system. David Rockefeller is the founder of the modern American education system. And I quote David Rockefeller: I don't want thinkers. I want workers. I want people smart enough to do the job, but dumb enough not to realize that we taking advantage of.
and
So
one
if
of
you
those
are a
things
thinker,
one of those now look, one of those things that that keeps people in that dumbed down state is senseless bickering. You know what I'm saying? And even this false sense of intelligence that leads to intellectual infighting. You know what I'm saying? Where these people are arguing things that they think makes them intelligent, when in fact it's really the complete opposite because you're wasting your time. You know what I'm saying? We argue about things that really don't put no food on the table, don't put no shelter over us, no clothes on our back, no food on our table, or nothing. But we will spend great amounts of
Mm-hmm.
energy doing these things while you got people who is making their way to the U.S., more than 5,000 people a day, to take your job. So while we arguing, and we don't, and just like Claude Anderson said, we the only group of people who don't have a think tank, right? While we arguing
Mm-hmm.
about identity and infighting about stupid shit, other people is coming here to take your position that you take for granted, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to do your job, and you don't want to go to work, and everything is the matrix and all that. I understand that, but understand where you behind enemy lines. People all across social media, and the average sought after job among the young populace is to be an influencer. So just like he was saying,
Mm-hmm.
it's some validity to that. A lot of these kids don't want to work. They can have the easiest jobs, but because that job is not them streaming on live or making money
it's
on
considered
TikTok,
it's considered
they
it's
don't want to
considered
do it.
it's considered corny. I mean,
Right.
generations of quote unquote foreigners that put their families through college and moved them out of the urban situation through selling water ice cream, things of that nature. But because this generation deems that as nut shit, corny, you broke, whatever, they laugh at you. They'll laugh at the black guy doing it, but still buy it from the Arab. That's the crazy part about it to me.
Right?
Is
Because it's
if the
self
black
hate.
guy
Right.
do it,
It's self hate, man. Uh, you know, Self hate,
Yep.
lack of integrity. These are moral issues that lead to intellectual fails. You know what I'm saying? We do dumb shit because we're hypersensitive. We more caught up in our feelings than reality itself. We're not logically assessing the things around us, lacking situational awareness. The walls is closing in. You know what I'm saying? They're literally giving opportunities that people take for granted to people who just illegally came into the country. You know what I'm saying? Just like how we talked about with the predictive programming, the predicated malevolence. You see, with that video that we had was from that show, the Marvel show, Secret Invasion. That's why, pun intended, I said I feel like Nick Fury. You know what I'm saying? They had this show where these motherfucking alien scrolls was secretly invading the U.S. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody watched that show, you see how that shit went. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a coincidence that they running this show on TV literally months before this shit became a serious problem. You know what I'm saying? So just like we was talking about what's the brother you said that was I seen that video clip. I forget his name though, but it was a brother from Philly who was showing how these immigrants, and I hate
Oh,
to
Big
call them that.
Reed, Big Reed,
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
Reed.
shout out to Big Reed, but I hate to call them that, but these people who come from a different country, they was hanging out on the corners, all mind you, all men of fighting age. All of them is majority of them is men of fighting age. So they just hanging out on the corner, just not doing nothing,
He
right?
said they was waiting for their marching orders. That was his exact words.
Possibly, possibly, or just like at Home Depot. If anybody familiar with Home Depot, the Mexicans go up to Home Depot and they wait for work. You know what I'm saying? The Africans be out there too. So
You
people,
took it right. I was getting ready to say the Africans on their top now.
right? So you
And
got people that
actually, I think the Africans got a much more, well, I'm kind of prejudiced in this because I really don't see that many Mexican communities outside of the one they got in South Philly. But it obviously must be some because I see a whole bunch of Mexican restaurants. But what I'm saying is, to me, the African community is much more visible in Philadelphia. And going back to that intellectual infighting, some of the worst intellectual infighting I ever seen in my life was at Lincoln University campus. I'm going to leave these two gentlemen out of it because I think one is deceased, but they both was from Nigeria, but one was Igbo and one was Hausa, and they couldn't stand each other, and neither one would combine their great intellectual gifts based on their tribal dislike and disloyalty towards each other from the old country. This would be like the Bloods and the Crips on steroids. Because see, when the white folks came into Africa and when they recolonized it and broke it down, they didn't pay attention to thousands and 10,000s and generational year-old boundaries where, okay, we are Africans, but y'all niggas is on that side of the river. We on this side of the river. We got our shit. Y'all got y'all shit. We trade, but we don't intermingle and coexist like that. We might get together and rumble the outsider, but y'all this and we that. When the Europeans came, they jumbled them folks up together, and that's how you got the tribal warfare and what you got going on now. Christians over there, Muslims over there, traditional Africans over here. We got our own shit, our own culture, our own city hall, our own get down. We cool, but we don't mix. Now when you force them to mix, all that shit start happening. That's something that people don't know. And then the intellectuals of these different countries, they all align with the invader, whether it be the English, whether it be the French, whether it be the German, the Portuguese, whatever. So now everything is in, oh, mother Portugal and oh, mother Spain and mother France. Like I said, my professor had the gentleman I won't name, he had a word for it. He called it being Frenchified. He used to be like, Eric, are you Frenchified? I said, yeah, Doc, it's a lot of Frenchifies in America. They don't call them that, but that's what they are. They've been anglicized, they're anglicized. The American dream is a nightmare for niggas, bro.
Negropeans,
You
man.
can't define yourself by what you make. You gotta define yourself by who you make. And when I say that, I mean Like, I don't take the credit for nothing, but I've lived long enough to see the seeds that I planted bear fruit to the point where a motherfucker who hated me in high school, who hated me in grade school, I see him when I'm bodyguarding at one of the games with his family, and he be so happy to see me, or she be so happy to see me, and the kids be like, "Oh, so you Mr. E? You the one she talk about. You the one to talk about. You was the TSS worker. You was the one that took him here. He talk about you all the time. Do you know how that feel, bro? So, like, I complain and I moan and I bitch, but at the end of the day, things happen to me every day that make me feel like, damn, my life was really worth it, yo. Like, I really did
Yeah,
something
for
with my
sure.
life.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
Congrats.
Like,
Salute.
I got Father's Day cards toked away somewhere. When Red Pill was moving me around when I was going through my shit, one day he dropped me off at the crack house, and I say that laughingly. And the dogs, and it was windy and rainy, and a lot of shit blew down the street. Remember that day, Red Pill? I don't know how many letters or how many birthday cards blew away that day. I still got some of them, but I used to take that shit for granted, bro. When people would give me birthday cards and don't give their dad a birthday card, don't even know they dad. But they thought, damn, I gotta give Mr. E a birthday card. This nigga do so much for me. Cause you know, at that
Mm.
time, I'm ripping and running in nice cars, throwback jerseys, chains, and all that. But I'm still working with the kids. I'm still coming to school every
Now,
day. So they like,
now,
damn, I'm like a rap star every day in school.
I want to
So
just
that
point
shit
out.
is different.
I just want to point out. I just want to point out something about that tenure that we wholeheartedly appreciate. You know what I mean? Is that
Mm.
you wouldn't been able to do that if you was running around accosting your own people and making them convey to you what their nationality is or what their belief system is. You know what I'm saying? Just like I
Mm.
asked you before we got on the stream, I seen Jack Frost saying that yeah, we have food
Hey
for
man,
real for
hey,
about to
listen,
break fast.
listen. I
Now
try to be as
hold on one second.
political as
Before you
I
say
could.
one second. And he said we got food break fast. My question was, well, if somebody is not Muslim, especially if they black, if a black person is not Muslim, and they hungry, do y'all got food for them? You know what I'm saying? So when we got these hangups about religion, nationality, identity, that shit is and it infringes on our ability to really be a pillar in the community. Those people
Mm.
who wrote you birthday cards. Those people who happy to see you when they talk to you. And I literally been with this man when people come up to him and say, "Damn,
That just happened at the
look,
Beanie Siegel
I hear
concert,
you,
remember?
real shit." And look, my hand up to God, that's real shit. So, but never was that kindness and grace and everything that you did for those young brothers. Never was that held up because they didn't have the same religion, they didn't have the same nationality, or they didn't have a card from this tribe
No,
or a card
I
from
never
that
made
tribe.
that a point of interest.
Right.
I never
Right.
made that a point of interest.
And
I
because
even went
and
so
so
far.
go ahead.
Listen, I even went so far as to eat pork one time, pause, for my Spanish friends because they moms was so offended by the fact that I wouldn't eat their food. And the reason I did it was because I know how that feel because I used to feel that way when people wouldn't eat my food, or I come from a generation when the grandmother, the mom, whoever cooked for you, if you don't eat, that make them feel like, yo, you don't respect me, you ain't got no love for me. I mean, I really come from a generation where they wanted to disown us when we stopped eating pork, bro. Like, we the generation that made them make beef and turkey sausage. It wasn't no turkey sausage in Philadelphia when I first grew up. But the large
Mm.
percentage of people turning Muslim and stopped eating pork sausage, they had to get that money some way. So they
Well,
came out with turkey sausage.
well,
Wasn't no
it's
turkey
just
sausage
like
in the 60s, bro.
it's just like Shahrazad Ali was talking about. When she put out that that in her publication, and she was trying to tell sisters like, "Yo, we need to start feeding our men better stuff and start get them off the hog and shit." The women was more apprehensive than the men. The men was like, "Okay, yeah, I don't want to eat that shit no more," and the women was like, "No, fuck that. I'm still cooking that shit." You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like when our feelings get in the way of a logical assessment. is never good. The outcome is always terroristic. It's always bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's so you when you make the decision to continue to feed somebody something that is not beneficial to them, and it's so much so that it's offensive if you don't eat it. That's the level of sickness that we in. You know what I'm saying? And see, I applaud your efforts to be the 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 bringer of peace. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when they say what I eat don't make you shit, well in this case it does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, I'm not
Well,
here to
Red
disrespect
Pill,
you.
we will say all this happened before the towers fell.
Well,
All this
no,
I'm
listen,
talking
Okay.
about.
listen. Hey, look.
All
Hey,
right.
listen. I'm not trying to. I ain't trying to pick apart. Your deeds. You know what I'm saying? But you know how we is. If that was me,
No,
I'd be like, I ain't eating that shit.
I just wanted to let that be known because we live in the
But I,
troll
I
world,
get
bro.
I get where you coming from though. But the thing is
Right.
that overall, I applaud your efforts to be the voice of reason in our communities. You know what I'm saying? And you would
It
not
don't
be.
come easy,
I'm
bro.
just pointing. I'm just pointing out that you wouldn't be able to do that if you had these religious hang-ups and these identity hang-ups. You know what I'm saying?
I
And it's
overcame them.
like because
I had them. I overcame them. I
because
had them.
we hypersensitive because we get hypersensitive, we get in our emotions to the point that it clouds our judgment. We spend more time arguing and disagreeing with each other when ultimately we agree on more shit than we disagree on. All of us, no matter what we
Right.
call ourselves, more Hebrew, Israelite, Native American, whatever. We all got the same
Yep.
plight.
We
We
got
all
more
want
in
to be
common.
tomorrow. You know what
Well,
I mean? We got more in common than we disagree on, but it's like for our own little emotional things that we have, these deficiencies. It's like, all right, we have to feed these demons where we argue with each other about stupid shit, and it's like, all right, people like yourself, who don't subscribe to a lot of this bullshit that these people have, these subscriptions that hold them down. These subscriptions are literally like anchors on their necks, and they can't be pillars in the community. They can't put smiles on faces. They can't be a prominent male figure or a prominent female figure in the community like how they could be, because they like, oh, I can't fuck with this person because he ain't a Moor, he ain't a Hebrew, he ain't a Native American, he ain't a Pan Africanist. You know what I'm saying? So when does the madness stop, where it's like, all right, if we really want to be pillars in our community, we really want to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? We got to follow the blueprint. And the blueprint is loving unconditionally, not going out here and wanting to go to war with the Moors or the Hebrews, and we just having this civil war amongst a secret invasion. So these motherfuckers is coming in and you arguing, and they taking your fucking job, right? And we so woke that we like, this is the matrix, bro. I'm not going to work, and we should all quit our jobs, and all of this shit they be saying on TikTok, right? But it's like, all right, well, let's be solution based. We try to talk to brothers and sisters about, well, look, let's be on the other side of social media. Let's stop being consumers. Let's collectively get together and have our own shit. Let's collectively get together and get money together. But we so hung up on our beliefs and our subscriptions that we that
Right.
we will decline opportunities to make money with each other. I can't tell you how many times that I come across these brothers who
All right.
got
Let me
different
come in again.
identities than me, different ID cards than me. And if I say to them just flat out, hey, look, can we do something to make some money? Can we work together? Can we do something
I'll be right
besides
back.
argue? They don't want to do that shit. They're like, no, nigga, let's
Oh,
just argue.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
But you don't want to work, right? Motherfuckers is coming in and doing the jobs that you don't want to do. You're a king and you're a chief and you're this and that, and that's too lowly of a job for you. You know what I'm saying? But you rather argue for free online, and it's like, all right, shit, we can make money off of this shit if that's the case. But why are we not collectively working together to
Right.
provide some solutions to turn the tide? We all got the same plight. We all want a better tomorrow. We all tired of paying for
Right.
inflation and all this fuck shit.
all right,
You know what I'm saying?
all right. Let me say this. To your point, I agree with you 1,000%. But when you say we and when you say all, I would propose to you this. I would propose to you that some people don't want to don't want to go back home. I propose to you that some people don't want to go on their own. They just want a better seat on the train, bro. They don't want to take the train off the track. They happy with the way the system is working. They just want a better spot in it. That's all.
Right. And they
See,
never they, they never
you
going to
want to
sell.
break
They
the
never going to
wheel.
say that.
You want to break the wheel.
Yeah.
They don't. I read Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. And the funny thing about that is we never know his name because he's so many different characters in the book, and that's the whole thing that black men is invisible in America. You're not seen as a man. You're seen as what you do. It's like your sin is your skin. So nobody never sees past your skin color. And basically what I'm trying to say with that is we don't see ourselves, bro. We see what other people see. We don't even see ourselves through our eyes. We see ourselves through our oppressor's eyes. You know, Tupac said
Right.
it the best. I ain't shit. I know I ain't never gonna be shit, and you less of a man than me. It's almost like when people see another brother successful, they can't believe that somebody from where they from doing what they did is being able to live it out while they stuck doing something that they don't like to do. And what I gotta say is this, and I'm gonna stop talking. Everybody, we talking about intellectual infight. Okay, the reason we intellectually infight is very deep and complex. We gonna leave that be. Basically, it's etymology. We not speaking the
Right.
same words. Of course, we gonna
Yeah.
infight if I know that they talking about sun sun and you believe they talking about son. When I say y'all been waiting for however many years because we don't even know the time because we basing time off the birth and death of a character that may or may not have actually lived. We literally call
Right.
time before Christ. What if it wasn't no Christ? What the fuck is time? So it's like I be on that type of stuff. So when you talk like that to people, they automatically shun you and make you think you're crazy. And I'm not
Mm.
crazy. You're crazy.
Right.
I'm going by what I know. You going by what you believe. So
Like yeah, like
Right.
this is why we got to do away with
we
beliefs.
gonna
It's like
have
yo,
infight. It's like
when you
you
trying to
train.
when you're trying to have an intellectual conversation with somebody who believes in comic book type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like all right,
Yeah.
like the story is like we was talking about this shit earlier. The story of Jesus is on the walls in Kemet, right? The
Hmm.
story of Jesus is spread all over the world through all different type of theologies before the time that they said Jesus lived. So at best, all of these different cultures were predicting the future at best. But it's like when you're talking to somebody who believes this, they want to act like these things don't exist. Like people don't, like the Indians don't have Krishna, like you don't have Haru, like you don't have Dionysus, like you don't have these other deities that have the same exact story. So when you got people that's trying to tell
Right.
you, yo man, Jesus lived and he was an actual person, it's like you just literally don't understand the allegory that's right in front of your face. How can a man
Right.
had like who he lived, right? And he had the same
Yeah.
exact life story of the story that's been carved on the walls 4,000 years before he's supposed to have lived. Like,
Right.
let's put that in context for today. Let's say tomorrow they uncovered a hieroglyph that tells you the life and times of Sean Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like word for word, everything that happened. He signed them niggas from Philly. He signed state property. You know, they
Right.
they they he had a beef with Dame Dash. And this is all in the hieroglyphs from
Hmm.
thousands of years ago. People would lose their mind and they would say, "Oh my God, this they predicted the future." So how is it
Hmm.
that somebody can be aware that you can't act like you're not aware of this. A lot of y'all is aware of this, but again, again, it's about integrity. Yeah, you
Right.
turn a blind eye and you have truth bias because you're a fanatic more than you are intellectual. A lot of people are posing as intellectuals, but you're really just a fanatic. You know, So when you're
Mm-hmm.
posed with irrefutable information that goes against your belief system, you just ignore it. So you can't
Mm-hmm.
act like you're not aware that this story that Jesus has is spread all around the world before the time that they said that he lived. But people will still say this man really lived. This is an actual person, an actual story, you know. And not not for nothing, they also believe that somebody got animals from all over the world and put them on one boat.
2 by 2. Yeah.
You know, right? They also believe that somebody killed a giant with a slingshot. You know,
Right.
they believe that somebody
Wrist rocket. Might have been a wrist
they,
rocket.
yeah, they believe that somebody lived in a fish for 3 days.
Right.
You know what I'm
You got
saying?
spit out.
Like, they believe that, a burning bush, and just like we say, all right, the Bible, is the word of God to these people, and they say, well, they basically make it seem like God sat down and wrote this book and gave it to us. Well, so if
Yes.
that's the case, then where is the original book at?
Right.
See, the truth is not offensive. It just forces you to think. And if you
Yeah.
think that the thinking process is offensive, then guess what? You've never thought before.
Right.
Congratulations, you had just been
If it
introduced to
hurts,
critical thought.
yeah.
You know what I'm
And if it
saying?
hurts, try it again.
Now it's just like when you work out any other muscle. When you start
Right.
working that
It's
motherfucker
gonna
out,
be
it's gonna be
sore.
sore. But yeah, when you start
Yeah.
working out that critical thought muscle, things will be all right. But you have to apply critical thought here. Your integrity is at stake. And it's like, yo, but the thing is this: I'm not trying to turn this into shooting down what people believe. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is that it's not even about what you believe. I'm not arguing you on what you believe. I'm arguing you on a logical assessment of what you told me. And I'm telling you that logically, these things don't make sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you tell me that if we just change our identity, then these people will take their foot off our neck and they'll just have to pack it up and go back to Europe. Are y'all aware of what's happening in Europe right now? Did y'all see the streets of France and shit like that? These motherfuckers are losing money by the day. They can't take a inundation of disgruntled uh, uh, Anglo-Saxons from
European.
America coming back
Right.
because they lost the paperwork game. Are
Mm-hmm.
y'all aware of what multi-assured destruction is in America? It's an acronym. It's called MAD. Multi-assured destruction is basically like the scorch and burn technique that they had within the military, where it's like, yo, nobody won't enjoy this motherfucking land. So they got this shit in place that they will destroy this shit if they ever get overthrown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So y'all are not like just logically assess some things. Somebody who has broken every treaty with that they ever signed with people who live on this continent, right? You
Right.
think that you're gonna beat them in a paperwork game. Like, so if we all file paperwork, that they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, you're right. We lost. You got us. You figured us out. I guess we just go back to Europe now. Just have allow yourself to have some integrity enough to logically assess your dogma, your doctrine, and your rhetoric. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we stand on the side of truth, because when we logically assess things, we have no gripe with you. You are brother. You are sister. We just are logically assessing what you're saying and saying, brother, this don't add up. But the thing is this: we spend too much time arguing about that shit, yo. When y'all lack the integrity to listen to a logical assessment and exchange on that note, where you got to insult people and sell wolf tickets and say shit that you would never say to somebody in their face. A lot of people is completely rude from the comforts of their home behind their phone screen, saying things that they would never say in real life. Case in point, you got people who claim to be Native American, right? And open up their home to foreigners and people who stole everything from them, and they still try to be nice to them, still try to work with them. So if you are descendants of those people, those diplomatic, nice people, you know what I'm saying, who wouldn't kill nothing and let nothing die if it wasn't for a good use, right? How do y'all
Mm-hmm.
metastasize to these disgruntled angry people who have disdain for people who are not the cause of your problems. Africans didn't take nothing from you. If anything, y'all took things from Africans. If you want to be real, shit, y'all rounded up Africans and sent back to the U.S. government to be enslaved. Some of y'all enslaved them themselves. Some of y'all ate Africans, practiced cannibalism. Some of y'all molested Africans. Let's keep it a bean. We just talking about history. I'm not throwing no shade at you. If you my brother, no matter what you call yourself. But the thing is this: when we looking around and we seeing that how the walls is closing in, and motherfuckers is losing their jobs and they firing people. Look, they fired all these people. You think they ain't fire a whole bunch of black people? You think some of them wasn't Native American, Hebrew Israelite, Moorish Americans? And it's ironic that all these people with these different jobs are different, identities, but they all got the same jobs. So changing your identity don't seem to do nothing for your financial prowess. You know what I'm saying? But working together could. Black people in this country is responsible for trillions of dollars of wealth. If we could at least pull at least 10% of that together to having some resources for us, we would be in a better predicament no matter what we call ourselves. Shit, we could argue about the identity shit later. But look at what the fuck is happening. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers that's coming over here. They diddy bopping into the country. They getting IDs. They getting blank checks. They
There you
getting
go
all kind of
again.
accolades and shit that you ain't getting, no matter what you call yourself. Chickasaw, you Black Creek, Moorish American, Native American, hybrid, Moor, Hebrew, Israelite. No disrespect to none of y'all, but I'm just saying, just keep it a bean. These motherfuckers that's coming in the country, they don't give a fuck what you call yourself neither. They don't give a fuck. Yeah, let them niggas play that identity game. Let them motherfuckers argue on YouTube about stupid shit. I'm gonna go get this money. And the shit, and as inflation gets out of crazy, it gets crazy, and they come with this new gas blend bullshit where the excuse to raise the fucking gas price and all the other fuck shit that they doing to take more money out your pocket. You so hypersensitive, you arguing about shit that don't even fucking matter. It's not even paying the fucking bills. Not even paying the fucking bills. But at least we could pool our resources together or put our heads together to come up with a plan, and somehow we could make some money together. I would rather help you than hurt you. Say it again. I would rather help y'all than hurt y'all.
And hurt.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of y'all want war. Some of y'all want to. I ain't gonna hold you. Some of y'all make me want to put blood in your mouth and dirt on your back. But I would rather help you than hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all is very despicable. In terms of integrity. You know what I'm saying? Very, very offensive. Say shit that you would never say to me in real life. Like, it's Ramadan right now. You got dudes that's trying to be pious and they fasting, right? Well, that fast also requires that you abstain from nasty, divisive behavior. Just because you don't eat during the day doesn't mean you're supposed to be out here saying foul shit and selling wolf tickets to people and discriminating on people. You're supposed to be one of peace. So and it's crazy because you got motherfuckers you got people that's bombing Muslim people during Ramadan. And the people and people is arguing with black people. Y'all arguing with other black people, but you ain't arguing with them people who bombing your people. You know what I'm saying? When you become Muslim, the Muslims is your brothers and sisters, no matter what color they are, right? That's what they say, right? They don't treat you like that as an African, as a black person. There's stipulations on you, but they teach you that all of these people you supposed to treat as your brother. That's why our melanated, carbonated black brothers and sisters. I know you don't like that word, but they go around loving on these Arabs, and the Arabs ain't loving them back, right? Calling them slaves and shit, selling them for $400 and shit. You know what I mean? Beating them with sticks and shit. You know what I'm saying? But y'all loving on the Arab, and he ain't loving you back. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem with that. You know. So it's like, man, How can we learn to love each other? How can we learn to work together? That should be the aim and shit. Because why y'all arguing with non-Muslims, right? When people that is Muslim don't even treat you fairly, don't even allow you to come to Mecca. Now, don't even allow you to walk around the Kaaba stone. You know what I'm saying? The Kaaba is the spirit soul and the heart soul. You know what I'm saying? Ka, two hands up, touchdown, is black. So I don't care if you call yourself black or Ka or whatever. The color is older than the word. Before somebody decided, you know what, I'm going to write BLACK down in the book and say it's a bad word, that color existed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like y'all playing Simon Says with the devil, where all right, this dude who this knuckle dragger who learned how to read and write from you, right? From our brothers who went out their way to stand them up straight and give them knowledge and all that, right? They wouldn't even have the ability to write that the word black is a bad word if it wasn't for a black person or a Moorish person or an African brother, a melanated, a Kibalan, or whatever what the fuck you want to call it.
Whatever subscription
They
or
wouldn't
label you
even
want to
have
put
the,
on.
if it wasn't for us, for our people, they wouldn't even have the ability to write on a damn piece of paper that black means dead in the eyes of the law. My brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. So it's like, well, how are we playing Simon Says with the student? Where the fuck how the fucking Danielson beat Mr. Miyagi?
When did he feel it was okay to do so?
What the fuck? So we put turbans on our head and we run around like de facto Arabs and shit, and we play Simon Says with the people who we taught what these words mean. We taught what these letters mean. They wouldn't even have these motherfuckers didn't even know nothing about numbers or nothing. They said numbers was works of the devil. They don't even have their own language, their own alphabet. Everything they got is something from somewhere else. And you let somebody who's a grifter by nature tell you what's what. That doesn't make sense, brother. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to disrespect you. I'm just telling you that what you telling me in that context, it doesn't make sense to me. How am I your
Mm-hmm.
enemy? I didn't take nothing from you. I didn't make you walk the trail of tears. I didn't steal your nation from you. Take your
Mm-hmm.
discrepancies to the people who did the shit to you. Y'all letting people slap you in the back of the head and kick your chair, and you get mad at the wrong person.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? We brothers,
Kicking your chair.
and we
Right.
trying to tell you that. Listen, if we work together, we can take that motherfucker back there, kicking your chair, slapping your head. Let's work together. And you saying, I know you ain't talking. That's the dumbest shit I
Uh-huh.
ever heard. You a punk. You a bitch. And you got all this tough talk for me,
Ah,
but I ain't the one kicking you in the chair and smacking you in the back of the head. All of these people who's anti-African, they all got something in common. They ain't going at the people who's fucking with them. They all got the same enemy. They all have the same adversary. They ain't doing nothing to them. They all got people who stole their identities, right? Allegedly. They ain't doing nothing to them. They ain't saying nothing to them. They coming at us for not supporting they shit. And it's like, yo, it's just like if you from the hood, right? And somebody they ain't moving for themselves, right? Some shit happened to somebody, and motherfuckers is like, yo, all right, so what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing? Oh, all right, well, gee, you can't expect me to go out and do something for you if you ain't gonna do nothing. You're for yourself.
well. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's out of pocket. That's coward shit. So if you ain't gonna do nothing for yourself, then why you expect me to come out and do something for you? And you ain't doing nothing for yourself. You arguing with me. You chasing me around and telling me I'm dumb and I'm stupid and I'm uneducated because I'm not on the shit that you on. But all right, the shit that you on tells me exclusively that the people who fucked you up is the same people who fucked me up. So why you fighting with me? Why you sending me hate mail? You know what I'm saying? Send the hate mail to the people who stole your land, stole your identity, got your heirlooms and your relics, your cultural relics in their basement. Argue with them. Go get your shit back. And if you really truly feel that that's your shit, guess what? I'll help you. But
Not
don't
the
fight with me.
heirlooms.
You know, don't
Not
fight
the
with me.
heirlooms. Not the heirlooms.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Look, most of
Mm-hmm.
y'all ain't even got one of these. But you talking shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's the same way. That's how my Moorish brothers would say to me, "Well, you ain't got your Moorish ID, so you can't." Man, listen, anybody can learn the law, right? There's all kind of
Mm-hmm.
people who know the law better than our Moorish brothers and sisters, and they ain't Moors. So knowing the law is not exclusive to the Moorish science.
Hey,
Let's be clear. Moorish
good brother,
science is
Red
African
Pill,
science.
good brother, Red Pill, and good brother, Pope. I
Yeah.
I never was a lawyer. I was selected to go to law school, but my dad's sickness and mom's death prevented that. But I say all that to say that during my course of time in the political parties and during my course of time of working down family court, it's just lowly family court, just juveniles. Crime is crime, law is law. What I found out was a great lawyer knows the law. The best lawyers know the judge. Can I say that one more time?
That is
Right.
Great
right.
lawyers
Fact.
Say
know
it
the
again.
law. The best lawyers know the judge.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So look. So if you can catch that drift, then that pretty much
Catch that
nullifies
joke. I ain't gonna
what the
incriminate
fuck you
myself to
talking about.
nobody else.
That nullifies what the fuck you talking about, because you thinking that because if I go in here and stand a certain way and I say this and I say that, that's just gonna make the judge follow suit, not knowing that the prosecutor already didn't talk to the judge before you came in the courtroom. He already told him,
Right. Right. Right.
look,
You asked out.
we gonna take care of
see,
this nigga.
see, what you don't know
Mm-hmm.
is that prosecutor donated $135,000 to that judge's campaign, which he
Yeah,
whacked up with the parties and the powers that be. So now every time they send him a case, that judge got to make that shit disappear, or he won't
you
get
want
Mm-hmm.
reelected.
you trying to come in
Reelected.
there and you trying to come in there and stand on your square and talk about who's out of whose jurisdiction, when them motherfuckers is they going with the highest bidder. Okay, this motherfucker gave me 100,000. You talking about jurisdiction? Which one you think? Which one you think they gonna go with? This
And
dude
you
gave
know,
me a
good.
hundred thousand. You talking about I'm out of jurisdiction? Yeah, all right. I'm about to get this 100,000 and send your stupid ass to jail. And you can talk that
And, and,
in
and
jurisdiction shit
listen,
in jail.
and listen, good brother Red Pill. This is something that I have learned from you. When you say don't get mad at sick people, I'm also going to say when Jesus said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." I'm not going to forgive them, but I do understand that you don't know what you're speaking about. See, you basing it off of what you got in high school or what you gathered from CBS and ABC News and the poll reports. I'm actually behind the scenes at the Democratic workers' meetings. I'm actually there looking at the poll numbers. I'm actually there watching the envelopes change place. I'm actually there picking up the food and taking it to the polling places. I'm actually there watching, directing the dudes tearing down the posters. I was there when they tried to run Lynn Swan as a gubernatorial
Man,
candidate in Pennsylvania strictly because they thought that he was black and played football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they know that between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, it might as well be called Pennsyltucky. They know that in order to win Pennsylvania as a Democrat, you have to win Pittsburgh and you have to win Pennsylvania, because everywhere in between is going to vote for whatever KKK candidate and least likely to help out the inner city candidate there is. That's just the way it is. Everybody that bangs with politics knows this. Between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, they call Pennsylvania Pennsyltucky. Pennsylvania has the largest number of right-wing skinhead KKK groups in the northern United States. It's a known
right.
fact. mean,
It's a
this
lot
is
of
just
it's a lot of there's a lot of sundown towns out there.
what.
A lot of sundown towns out there. You better keep it moving. You better have a gas
Mm-hmm.
can. You better have a gas can
Listen,
filled up.
man.
You better keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Listen.
like, all right, what can we do about the sundown towns, brothers and sisters with different identities? Because
Hey,
guess
man.
what? Guess what? If you in a sundown town, they ain't gonna give a fuck what you call yourself.
No,
Nah,
no.
nah.
Hey, listen, and I just
Nope.
wanted to keep it
Not
going
at
with
all.
they act. This is what they think about us. They
You
thought
can't do
that
that to me. I'm a Native American. You can't
this is what.
get your hands off of me. You're out of the jurisdiction. You gonna be
Get your
swinging.
hands out my pocket.
Yeah, you
This is
gonna
what
be
they
swinging.
thought, Brother Pope.
Mm-hmm.
They thought we so politically immature that the love of the Pittsburgh Steelers would galvanize the black population in Pittsburgh to vote for Lynn Swan, which would circumvent the
Wow.
people in Philadelphia because they ran Lynn Swan as a Republican. At this time, nobody Republican was winning in Pennsylvania. This was pre-Trump. And he
Mm-hmm.
came to Philadelphia, and we had to organize a welcoming party for Mr. Swan. And a gentleman who I won't name, but he's pretty famous in Philadelphia politics, a younger guy, he decided to take the money. He said, you know something? I'm not messing with you good old boys, you racist, y'all good because y'all went to Catholic school. They get y'all jail out of free. You got the cushy jobs and everything. Cool. I'm not going that route. I'm going with these Republicans. They giving me some money. Cool, bro. I'm
Right.
telling you, I'm telling you that's the losing move. And if you think because you black and we went to the same high school that I'm going to disavow my political loyalties, that's allowing me to be a juvenile probation officer and still do the things I do in the street, knowing that it won't come back on me because I'm politically protected. I'm sorry, good brother. You're going to get beat down. And I basically told him this. He did it anyway. The repercussions and ramifications was savage. And what I'm trying to tell you is politicians all over the country have people for just such an occasion. Politics and
Right.
crime go together like ham and cheese, brother. That's what make
Peanut
organized
butter and
crime
jelly.
politicians in the
That
pocket.
that's the Hegelian dialectic, the problem, reaction, solution. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Republicans and Democrats are a group of thieves. They realize that the people must get robbed. All they argue about is the method of robbery and the dispersation of the funds.
Right.
I'm going to say that one more time for the slow people in the back. The Democrats and the Republicans are all in the same gang. It's a reason it's called a political and party. You're not invited to their little party. You are the party favor. You are the party favor. They sit back and they design ways to implement tax codes and laws that are designed literally to take money out of your pocket and put it in theirs that they can donate to themselves, their family, and all their little political, religious, and governmental pet projects to keep everybody fat and happy. And the reason I know is I was one of the ones who was kept fat and happy off of the jobs. Come on, man. I know how it goes. Everybody's promised a certain amount of jobs. Those jobs go to the political supporters. Who are the political supporters? The movers and shakers in the hood who can get the people to vote for the machine. And you are rewarded with a nice city paying job with benefits that most people then throw in the face of the same people that helped them get there. Instead of helping put them on, they throw their ill-gotten gains in their face and wonder why they end up getting robbed.
Now,
Oh,
now,
Philly this,
now,
Philly that.
Mm-hmm.
now think
You
of all
can't
of the
come back to
people.
Philly. Nigga, you
Now
can
think
come
of
back to Philly.
think
You
of
just
all of
not
our people.
moving
Look,
right.
look, now think of all our people who go and dance with the devil and fall in the volcano by accident, right? Or accidentally on purpose, right? Somebody pushed them, right?
Right.
So these people fall in the
Mm-hmm.
proverbial volcano and they get scorched, and of course, the media going to drag them out and hang them out and say, look at these people. They try to come in our beloved pure system and bring that evil black corrupted mindset in here. And it's like, all right, we understand that these people drink the Kool-Aid, and then they get set up thinking that, oh yeah, you can do what I do, don't worry about it.
No, no, no,
But that's a
no.
receipt. Look, what that is that's a receipt on you. when you go and do what when you go do what they do because they told you it was okay, they told everybody, they say, yo, and they took a picture of you, or they say, yeah, he did, he took that money, yeah, he did it. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna hold that
Listen,
against you.
man.
And then when they ever say, you know what, we done with you, oh yeah, oh scandal, oh look at this, look at that, right? Now, why is it that our brothers and sisters keep signing up for such an unfair deal? Because they don't have nowhere else to go. Because all of these different identities and religions and beliefs that fight all the time, they don't have nothing in place for our people to be protected.
Hey,
You know,
man.
Mm-hmm.
so our people go and dance with the devil because they look. I ain't trying to argue. I'm trying to survive.
At the
And
whole time you dancing with the devil, you say you holding hands with God. That's another thing, man. You can't dance with the devil and hold
and
hands with
and,
God, bro.
and we got to ask this question. But with our infighting, all the stupid shit that we do amongst us because we don't agree on one or two things, how many of our brothers and sisters are we deterring to go dance with the devil because they can't? I can't get with that organization, or I can't get with that conscious thing because all they do is argue. So I'm gonna go
Well,
over
you
here
know,
because Joe Blow said he gonna give me a job and he gonna give me a deal and he gonna give me that, and now they got you doing some weird shit and they got tapes on you, and now you fucked, and now you got to do some fucked up shit because they blackmailed you.
all right.
You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I can speak.
How
I
much
can speak
how
personally
much
to that. I can speak personally to that because you just described my life. Basically, this is the thing. When we do it, it's a crime. When they do it, it's business. When we do it, it's a gang. When they
Mm-hmm.
do it, it's a crime family. When we do it, it's fraud. When they do it, it's charity. So it's the words that they use. And what I could tell you is based off everything you just said, I could tell you my whole life they've been after me as far as wanting me to go to this organization, wanting me to go to that organization. But I figured it out early on. I'm smart. I can sack the quarterback. I can hit the baseball. I can dunk the basketball. I'm special. Y'all can use me to promote y'all agenda. So I always use them to promote me. Always from day one. Always got in the newspaper. I got to do shit my whole life that nobody else got to do. We was the first people to bring hip hop to West Catholic. We was smoking weed on stage at a Catholic school, bro, drinking motherfucking night train. Do you know
night
what
train?
night train, bro? Night train. I specialized in I can't say it now because now everybody gonna take it as a sexual connotation. I fucking specialized in turning people out on hip hop. Like in the 80s, the late 70s, early 80s, hip hop was a drug, bro. It influenced everything you did. You changed your whole dress pattern. You stopped doing certain shit. You just wanted your sneakers changed, your laces changed. It was just it was almost like the reverse of being a crackhead. That's where they really got hip hop head from. You was a real junkie, bro. Like strung out on hip hop, memorizing the songs, and it just was like different. And I bought me and my people bought that to West Catholic. We made them accept that. And rest in peace, Mr. McPherson. Mr. McPherson was a bald-headed black dude who was a revolutionary, and he only was bald-headed. He had an afro, bro. He was one of them 70s black power dudes. His daughter caught cancer. And because she lost all her hair, to show solidarity with her, he cut his afro off, one of his most prized possessions, bro.
That's
And
right.
that
That's
shit
right.
spoke volumes. Cutting off
Right.
your fucking afro in the Black Power shaft days, strictly to show support for your daughter. It would be
Right.
like somebody cutting off their braids, or they didn't grew their dreads all the way down their back and cutting them off to show support for their sick daughter. Could that
Right.
happen
Right.
today?
For sure.
Maybe, maybe not.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
uh,
It happened.
my youngin is here with me, and I'm gonna show you the difference between me and a lot of people. I stand corrected. I argued him down maybe last year, early this year, about how R&B is dead, and nobody listens to R&B no more, and they don't make good R&B songs because of the environment. Like people not in love, you got toxic relationships. I stand corrected. I won't say that nobody makes R&B. I still stand by what I say, that it's not a loving society. But I went to a Keisha Cole's, Jaheim, K Michelle and Trey Songz concert. And while to some old haters that might not be their definition of R&B, it definitely was people in there over 30, and it was people in there under 30. So it was like, all right, I was a little encouraged by the situation.
Now, E, look. Now you could clarify something for us here, right? So, so you have you ever worked a Taylor Swift concert?
Yes. Yes, I worked
What?
Taylor Swift and Beyonce, and I would be in the perfect position to compare and contrast if that's where you was going. Go ahead.
Yes. So, all right. How old is Taylor Swift for the people who don't know?
I would think she's about 33.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Now, now, in your opinion, based upon your own recognizance,
She could be 37. I'm gonna
no,
go
no,
with
no,
I'm gonna,
no,
I'm gonna go between 33 and 37.
All right, I'm going to my next question. So, all right, based upon your observation, what's the average age of her fans?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say she's a phenomenon of all ages, but predominantly teens and young love-struck white girls.
Right. Now you done already knocked out my next question. So I thank you for that further
I
insight.
did say, hold up, for all the haters and all the people later, my first statement was, I said, really, she's an artist of all ages, but predominantly, I would say, teenagers and love-struck white girls.
Well, listen, we appreciate those extra sentiments, but honestly, it's nothing you could do to stop a hater. They're gonna find something to complain about. I didn't like how he got the camera and said that. I don't appreciate his tone. They're gonna find something to be angry about. A
Motherfucker told me my teeth is too white. Yo, they reposted one of my joints about Joel Embiid. Oh my God, bro. He said, this is bro's first day with his new veneers. I said, yo, man, I had these same big white teeth for 20 years. What is you talking about? Like, I can't help it. All your famous rap stars is getting fake teeth. They ain't on me. Y'all been had them. What are you talking about?
Listen, a troll is gonna be a troll, man. You know what I'm saying? They will watch a video. They will watch a video for 117 minutes or 77 minutes, right? And just to find something and say, well, shit, he just said that the video was 117 minutes. They're gonna find something to be mad about.
Hey, Red Pill.
Man, we ain't even gotta worry about that shit. But the point I'm trying to make is this.
Oh shit!
We gotta make this point. We gotta make this point. The point I'm trying to make is this. All right, this Taylor Swift is a woman in her 30s. We can agree on that. But her average fan age ranges from 13 to 19, right? You know what I'm saying?
I could agree with that.
So and they white. Now, look at the contrast. The average, what is the average 13 to 19-year-old black girl listening to? Is she listening to R&B? Who is she listening to?
Unfortunately, I would probably say Sexy Red.
Exactly. My point exactly. So when you say R&B, when people say R&B is dead and people are arguing that, it's people that's going to find some fault in any fucking thing. But the reality is that when you go to a Keisha Cole concert and you see a lot of people that's long in the tooth there, you know what I'm saying? When you go to Beyonce concert and it's people that's drinking age. You know what I'm saying? So the young girls in our community, they're not listening to R&B. They're listening to slut rap. You know what I'm saying? They're listening to somebody talking about selling cooch and shit like that. You can't even make this shit up. They're not listening to somebody singing about being in love with somebody or holding hands and shit. Maybe if they go to one of their white girlfriend's house, they might hear some Taylor Swift. But the average 13-year-old to 19-year-old black girl is listening to trash music. And now think
Right.
about it. Now one thing I want to say is this: a lot of these performers, these knowledge droppers, these influencers, they want to be artists
Oh,
themselves.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's arguable that they would want to rap about the things that
Hey,
they
our
talk
bad.
about online. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
we had your
saying?
background was in there, so you back.
You just came in. Oh shit. but but look, it's arguable that they would want to be entertainers themselves and rappers and singers themselves, and they would like to rap about the things that they make videos about. I'm Native American, I'm Moorish American, all these different things, and there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. But see, the thing is that when the music industry has been co-opted by the powers that shouldn't be. This is something that our people made, but we don't control. Once again, being something
Right.
stolen from us, and nobody seems to have any discrepancy with it. So they can take music and corrupt it and make it a weapon, and we not even standing up against that because what are we doing? We too busy arguing about what our identity is, what I'm gonna call myself for the next 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That's what we focus on our time and energy on. As soon as you cut on to social media, if somebody arguing you about trying to prove to you about how they Native American or why they shouldn't be called black or why they Hebrew or some other shit. But look at all the other shit that's happening right in our faces, where the average 13-year-old girl is listening to Sexy Red and somebody telling her to sell her pussy. But the average 13-year-old white girl is listening to somebody that's telling them to be in relationships. And y'all can't even see that. Y'all can't even pay attention to detail to see how we're literally being attacked in our communities through the airwaves, through the food, through all of this shit. Because y'all
Right.
too busy arguing about stupid shit. Y'all want to debate about this and debate about that, but the brother E can tell you about how these motherfuckers been debating about this shit for the past 40, 50 years.
Right.
Same shit. Same shit. Different person. It's a different talking head.
Yep.
Same argument. Same talking points. What are we doing? You got people. You have people who working directly with the children, seeing the mental and social dilapidation metastasize in the youth. And motherfuckers are too busy arguing about their identity and trying to disprove this one and disprove that one. That our kids is going to shit, our communities is going to shit, our food is going to shit, and our options are going to shit.
Right.
They tell me it ain't that deep, Red Pill.
Cause the shit
Chill
goes over
out,
their head.
relax. They
The
just
shit goes over
kids.
their head like fitteds. You
Nah,
got
they're
kids,
not just kids.
they call themselves savages.
Hey,
ALG Bizzle. Hey, look. Hey, one of my quotes is this: children have no choice whether their parents are solid or not. So that's why we out here doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like the children gonna reteach the parents just like back in the days when the grandparents didn't really know how to read. Remember that era when, you know what I mean, the grandparents had to go to work and had
listen,
to go to school?
listen, that's one of the main reasons I know the little bit of Spanish that I do. Because when I first started doing TSS work, they would stick me up the Badlands and up North Philly in predominantly Spanish neighborhoods. Because it's crazy. The Spanish people learned how to take advantage of the services before Black folks did. But that's again based off of culture and you know sticking together and showing up at the PTA meetings and English being the second language. Like they have a whole program
Right.
called ESOL, English as a Second Language, where they teach you in your home language. It ain't just with Spanish. They had it with the Cambodians in South Philly, the Vietnamese. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like what you can
They got
get
it out here
when
in
you,
Frisco too.
yeah, you understand what I'm saying? But you know,
Yeah.
anyway, based off what you're saying, man, I, it's hard for me with the kids, bro, because like I believe in them, but I see
Mm.
reality. And what you said, you can't really be solid with a weak foundation. One child told me, not really a child, this boy named Grizz. We called him Grizz because he looked like T Grizzly. He was big as shit, but a young boy. And because he was big as shit, he lived the biggest shit life. Even though you smart, even though you good in school, you a big black ass nigga. So you gotta act like a big black ass nigga. You gotta be a goon. You gotta smack people around. You gotta be tough. Nobody give him any credit for being smart, so he'd be miserable. And I was grinding him up one day, and he was like, "Damn, old head, we respect you, but you always talking crazy. Like, you don't never give us no credit." I said, "Bro, it ain't about credit. It's about telling you what it is. Like, you keep making the same fucked up choices, and then want somebody to hold your hand." He was like, "OG, how you gonna have good kids in a bad system?" I never looked at it like that. I mean, I always looked at it like that, but I never looked at it like that. Like, how do you expect the rose to go through the concrete? Like, that's why Tupac made that poem, "The Rose That Grew Through the Concrete." How you gonna have roses in concrete jungles? Like, we birth kittens in ovens and call them dogs. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's like, you know, see Tom run, see Jane run. That shit don't work for the streets. Like, it's like, how can I explain it better? Like, when kids is young, little kids, like, I wasn't there for the upbringing of my son, but I've seen enough of them to know, and I worked with enough kids to know that everything is a question in life. What's this? What's that? Where you going? Why you do this? Why you do that? How come when you get to school where you should ask the questions, nobody got no questions to ask? Now, I just want to run that by you again. It's real simple. This is the key. Dr. Babatunde, Mr. Banks, intelligent man. You break complex shit down simple so even a baby can understand. The intellectual infighting, the identity, and all of that. We can say that children are pretty much the same. You get a black baby, a Moorish baby, a Hebrew baby, a white baby, a yellow baby, an Asian baby. You put them all together, they're going to be playing and crying and slobbing all over each other, irregardless of anything we got to say. I've seen it happen too many times at interracial playgrounds in South and North Philly. The kids will play while the parents is all sitting around looking for an excuse to make the kids stop playing with the other nationality while they eyeball each other suspiciously. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like I don't really know how to really like say it in a language that everybody could understand. But just, why do kids ask questions everywhere except school? They ask questions everywhere else except where they should ask them the most. And the only thing I can come up with is school is an anti-learning, soul-crushing environment where they teach you shit that don't make no sense to nobody that got to use it to live their life. This is why they spend all their time on the computer and on the cell phone. My client is supposed to be autistic and mentally challenged. Like I said, he figured out the code to the bathroom because he didn't want to go in the bathroom with the bully kids. He figured out that if I don't do my work, the best way I can get out of doing my work is ask Mr. Eric to take me to the bathroom. Ask Mr. Eric to take me for a walk. You got to understand the emotional intelligence of people to figure out how to get what they want without doing the least amount of work.
Well,
It's so deep. It's deep, bro. It's deep.
Well, what's the phrase? What's the phrase that they say? What does it take to raise a child? What's the phrase?
A village.
A village. Not
It can't just be a teacher. It can't just be a therapist. It can't just be a coach.
Look, not somebody getting paid to come in from Gloucester County who would tell your kids, "I got my education, you need to get yours." No, children. When these children when they go through the Y phase, right? That's relatively around when they first start being able to talk and they're starting to master these motor skills. You know what I'm saying? So that those questions are usually posed to whoever they around, i.e., their parents. But the problem is that for far too long, education has been delegated to the military. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have truant officers. And the first schools, you had to take your kids to school, or you would be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So and they have kind of they're not as hard on that law or they are now, because you got kids that ain't even going to school. Kids is taking themselves to school. But you know what I'm saying? But this is indoctrination, you know. kids' learning environment is supposed to be at home with their family, with their village and shit. Now think about it. What do people do? What people do teach their kids? What do people teach their children? Think about it. They don't teach them nothing in school. They don't teach them nothing about academia. They delegate that to the state or somebody else. So what do they teach their children?
From where I stand, bro, from where I stand, and again, I can only speak to what I've seen, and I've been in people's houses, talk to parents, talk to kids. Better yet, I watch. You know how they teach their kids? The phone, pretty much, and
Nah,
from conversations that the kids ain't supposed to hear.
exactly.
That's how they
So
teach them.
we can run down some things that the average parent teaches their kids. They teach their kids how to cuss. They teach their kids how to have sex. They teach their kids how to do drugs. They teach their kids, and this the kicker. They teach their kids about religion. All of this bullshit and dogma and all this shit that keeps going on and on, the generation to generation. You ain't got no other academia. You ain't got no other academic smoke for your kids other than some Bible literature or some Quran or Torah or some shit that somebody else gave you and shit. Again, delegating knowledge and information to somebody else, but they believe in that shit. You teach your kids about the Easter Bunny and all this other stupid lies and belief shit. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have no actual academics to teach them. That's a problem, and it's so much so a problem that when people actually do have the integrity to or to arm themselves with knowledge, so to be able to educate their own children, i.e., homeschool, that the average homeschool child is like 5 times smarter than the child that's going to school in the you know public school system. You know what I'm saying? So because we worry about stupid shit, we not taking care of business, not even with our kids. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is sending their kids to school. They don't go to the parent teacher meeting. They ain't doing none of that shit. But they on Instagram. They on social media. Some of
Hey,
y'all arguing with motherfuckers online and shit. Like I had a motherfucker arguing with me, and his baby is crying in the background to the point where I'm like, "Yo, brother, go check on your daughter. Fuck this argument, man. It ain't that deep. Go
and
check on your daughter."
and and at this point in time, he was probably so mad at you. If he didn't say it, he was vocalizing it subconsciously. They have a saying now. It's called "fuck them kids,"
Man,
and this is the generation of "fuck them kids." They feel that. Like, let's be honest. If on pain of death, if you put a pistol to every mother and father head in America right now and said, "I'm gonna pull this trigger and blow your brains out if you don't tell the 100% truth," was your child an accident or not? Y'all was high, drunk, fucking, and the condom popped. Tell the truth. None of y'all said y'all was making a baby. Nobody got into this relationship with the idea of reproducing a child. Maybe 10%, maybe, and I'm being generous. Most of the children running around today is accidents, bro. And they go from one tragic encounter to the next. Your birth was an accident. The way your mom and dad boot you around from crib to crib and house to house is a fucking accident. The way they talk crazy about each other in front of each other, in front of you, is an accident. The way they put the kid that they have with a man who they think is better than your father ahead of you and constantly throw that shit up in your face is an accident. You picking up the gun that your slimy ass stepdad left in a spot that he thought was hidden from you, not paying attention that you was paying attention, that you just gripped up and accidentally shot your cousin with when you were showing it off to him, but you never cleared the gun out, the fucking bullet out the chamber. That was an accident. And I keep going on and on and on and on and on, because this is what I've seen in 25 years of school, to the point where I start off in September being everybody's friend and buddy and old head. By October, you just wanted the treats. You just wanted the potato chips. You just like the Sixers hat. You like how I dress. Cut you off. You a freaky ass bitch who used to getting popped by old heads. You see me in these sweatpants now. You got ideas. No, I'm leaving you alone. By this, by I mean, bro,
I want to offer a contrast. So
it's just
now,
not.
all right. So now a lot of things that happen by accident, you know, are perceivably bad, but then also
No, no,
so,
I'm
so no,
just
no, no, no,
saying.
no, wait. Some of the greatest things that we take for granted happen by accident. You know what I'm saying? So so it's like, all right, when a child has to grow up understanding that, damn, I'm an accident. What are some things that, or some insight that we could offer to somebody who might think that they're an accident? You know what I'm saying?
I
You know
say
that
Sometimes
they
we
got a
this:
get things.
purpose
life is a blessing. That's what I
Hey,
say.
I met y'all niggas by accident.
on purpose,
A
by accident,
lot
on
of things
purpose,
happen. A lot of good things happen by accident. You know what I'm saying?
but it's on
So, because
purpose
be
because it's for a purpose.
it might be some youth out there watching this that might be like, damn, struggling with that possibility
That's
that you might
why
not
I
be
was saying it to let them know that they not alone. See, people see the youth that I'm talking about, they think they the only person in the world that's going through that situation. That situation is a whole lot more common than what you think. And the person that you look up to the most, the person who might troll you every day and make your day miserable, is going through the same exact situation. That's why he or she is doing that to you, because
Yep.
hurt people hurt people. That's what I'm getting at.
Right,
Misery
Get
love
out
company.
your
right,
feelings. Get out your feelings. Because if you really feel
right.
that way, you wouldn't treat the next person like that. The main people who guilty of that accident shit is the ones who try to make everybody else feel bad about their problems. Yeah, some things happen by accident. But I guess my point with that would be, you don't do somebody a favor and constantly tell them that you do them a favor. Okay, I'm gonna let the
Right.
fact slide that you and my dad wasn't in love. I'm gonna let the fact slide that y'all don't really fuck with each other, and I'm gonna let the fact slide that y'all put your own needs ahead of mine. Cool,
Right.
but to then poke holes and shoot shots at me without taking responsibility for the fact that everything I just let slide is why the fuck I'm like this. This is why I say it's an accident. This is why I say it's a problem. And this is why I say people got a hole in their heart. And this is why I say, as ineffective, as incomprehensible, as degrading, as opinionated, and as nasty as people sometimes think I am, this is why people like that have always found solace around me. Because I
Well,
talk that
see,
shit, but I don't judge them. I'm just telling you what it is. Nobody tells you what it is. That's why you walking around in a state of delusion. This is what
we
it is. What are
we
you going to
pointing
do to
out
change it?
we
You know what I
pointing
mean?
out we pointing out the silent weapons for quiet wars that are used in a sadistic de facto Satanist society. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they get off on the misfortune of others. Shit, a lot of us grew up watching comedy where somebody get hit in the head with a mallet, or get shot in the face with a shotgun, and they put a laugh track behind that, and you grew up thinking that was
Shit,
funny as
that's
a
all the
child,
Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny,
right?
Daffy Duck, Looney
So
Tunes, that's
so
their whole
so
shit.
Yeah.
sadism is infused in a lot of our psyche, where we really like to see people suffer. Just like Ric Flair said, you like to see somebody doing good, but you don't want to see they doing better than you. That
Yep.
inadvertently creates competition. We live in a highly competitive, highly sadistic, de facto Satanist society. These people don't even know. They don't even realize. Like, you got people, practicing all different kind of religious beliefs, but ultimately they're Satanists because they do Satanist shit, and they don't care about their fellow man. They don't care about the next person. They only care about themselves. While they out here virtue signaling. So the only time that you see them doing good shit is where they trying to get brownie points to say, hey, you gonna let me into this special place in my afterlife, right? You see me doing this, right? And it's like, man, if you think that the divine, if you think the divine or God or whatever you call him, if you think that he can't see past that bullshit, then you going to super hell. If that shit really is real, you going to super hell. He's like, you think you gonna play me? You think you gonna do some virtue signaling brownie point shit on me? Like, I don't know the difference between genuine helping somebody and somebody who's just trying to get to heaven or get to Jannah or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No,
Right.
y'all can't play that. Y'all can't play God like that. If you better hope that a lot of y'all motherfuckers better hope that this shit ain't real. Because y'all out here virtue signaling and doing all this fake bullshit like God can't tell the difference. You know what
All
I'm
right.
saying? It's the motherfuckers who don't believe that bullshit that get out here and come out here every day and help their fellow man and help their fellow woman and help them make sure that there's a better tomorrow. That know they ain't getting nothing for that shit. God, if anybody God gonna recognize, he gonna recognize those motherfuckers first. Shit, y'all gonna have y'all gonna be getting choke slammed by Peter. Peter gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. Oh yeah, nigga, I know your type, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, listen, I have so much to add to that as a person who grew up in that environment but never claimed none of the religions that I either went to school or was associated with. So I see both sides of the coin, and I could just say that I can remember the other professor. I quoted the first professor, the Igbo. Now I'm gonna quote the Hausa. He said, sometimes people who don't believe in God act more godly than people who do. And I kind of made a paper because one of my things was other people used to write graffiti. I would write papers like big giant, like the joints that they have at the football games, at the college games, like the signs. I would have a sign like that
Yeah,
on my door.
scrolls.
Yeah, like a scroll.
Mm.
And I had that
Yeah,
up
yeah,
there. You
yeah,
know, people who
yeah.
don't believe in God act more godly than people who do. And I put his name on it. And yo, the next
Mm.
class I came to, he pulled me to the side and he was like, Eric, I would appreciate it if you do not attach my name to any of your madness. I said, what you mean, man?
Yeah.
People are going around saying that I don't believe in God. I didn't say that. I said that you said that people who don't believe in God act more godly than people who do. That's what you said. But I do not want my
Right.
name with your man.
Now look, you said that. There's some scumbags that's probably watching this that's going to try to ride that bandwagon and say yes, yes. But see, some of y'all, not all of y'all is virtuous. Some of y'all
Right.
don't believe in and don't subscribe to no vision subscriptions because you degenerates.
Yeah.
So you find solace in this information age because that alleviates your responsibility to be an upstanding person because you're
Right.
like, oh well, ain't no judgment coming for me, so I can come out here and be a fucking scumbag, right? And
Right.
and, and,
Right.
and you're like, I met a sister who's probably crafting up some hate mail for me, you know, a sister from Ghana, right? Now, this sister is telling me how she's trying to wake people up in Africa and trying to get them off religion and all of this shit or whatever. Or she tried that for like a year and then she gave up on people, right? So she trying to she's trying to find a man who don't believe in religion but doesn't have the integrity to try to do something to do for self. That's basically what she described to me. So she don't want somebody who's going to be talking to her about moral turpitude or what can we do to help our fellow man, our fellow woman? How can we help what can we contribute to the plight of the black community? She don't want somebody like that. But she don't want them to be sitting back thinking that, oh, I ain't got to do shit because Jesus is gonna come and take care of everything, and I'm a guy go to church. So she don't want it. So essentially people like that are just degenerates because once you realize it ain't no help, and this is what I try to explain to her. I'm like, yo, if anybody should be on their job, it's you because you're a woman. You know what I'm saying? Now, I like to talk about movies and shit. There's a movie called Domestics we was watching, and me and Pope was watching. Pope told me to
Yeah.
watch this movie called Domestics, and one of the main commodities in this post-apocalyptic world that we was looking at on some predicated malevolence laced bullshit that it was
Yeah.
women. So these dudes was going
Yeah.
around looking for women to rape. And I'm like, yo, if you realize it ain't no help coming, ain't no alien
Yeah.
spaceship coming down, or there
Right.
ain't no paperwork way that we gonna win this situation and we gotta do for self, then
Right.
you don't benefit from not doing nothing. Oh, I don't want
Right.
anything. Oh, I don't want to do.
Shit.
I don't want to do nothing like that. I just want to just have a good
Yep.
time. And I'm like,
Yep.
yo,
Hold on one second.
if anybody knows anything about warfare and what happens to countries, cities when they get overthrown, it should be you. So this shit, if anybody can rock out and act like it ain't about nothing, is me, because shit, they'll just kill me. Shit, they gonna take you. They're gonna take, this is what I'm telling her. They're gonna take you. They're gonna rape you. And if you got a daughter, they're gonna rape her too, and they're gonna pass you around and shit. You know what I'm saying? So so you so you don't benefit from just riding this out. You know what I'm saying? And just hoping that everything just goes okay, even though you don't believe, you don't subscribe to religion. So you know, so you're not even like somebody who believes. See, somebody who's a believer, I can understand that kind of mental illness, because this person has been groomed their whole life to believe this. They're more of a victim than anything. You know what I'm saying? And they believe that despite all of the atrocities that happened in the world, and all of those people felt that they was living in the end times, they believe that it's different for them, and they believe that somebody's going to come and help them in their darkest hour. When everybody on the planet who's ever went through the darkest hour, they never had no help coming. They always calling to God. All these people got God involved. And when you talk about the God-given right, when you what is your God-given right, and how do you uphold that? Oh, this is my God-given right. Oh, can you go to God and get Him to do something about it? I'm pretty sure that anytime that somebody stole land from somebody, or stole something from somebody, some resources, or slaughtered them or something like that, and these people try to stand on their God-given right and say, this is my land, this is my God-given land, or this is my God-given resources, the people who was taking that shit didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck that you was getting God involved. They didn't give a fuck that you was going to go pray and tell God and say, God, stop these people from stealing my shit. They stole it anyway. Now, I'm not saying that they're not going to face retribution, or I'm not saying that your religion is fake, or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that the people out here, the perpetrators, don't give a fuck about your God-given right. So
Right.
you have to logically assess what that means in real time. And if you got somebody with a gun in your face and you arguing something about your God-given right, is that going to make you bulletproof? Is that going to stop this
Mm.
jokes from going down? You know what
Ouch.
I'm saying? No, it's not. The reality is that people with the biggest guns and the biggest bombs make the rules. That's the, you know what I'm saying? You got the biggest bombs, you got the biggest guns, you got the longest money, you make the rules. That's the reality. So, I listen, I understand everybody's understanding of their God given right and what they believe that God gave to them and all this. But until God directly intervenes, any altercation that you have with somebody infringing on your God given rights, that's just a belief. You
Yep.
can't show me any group of people. Exactly. You can't show me any group of people who's ever invoked their God-given right and called God and got them to do something about it. And you see what happened to these people when they try to step on their God-given rights. And it's
Right.
like, even if you try to show me some miracle thing where it's like, oh, it rained or some shit like that, that's not enough to say that that is a, a accessible force. That
That's not a
if I
norm.
have
Not
yes, I have this belief I can just, thundercats ho, and and get a response. That's not going to happen.
a.
But what can happen is if we collectively work together to communicate together, to provide resources for each other, yeah,
Right.
and protect each other. That's more realistic than you thinking that somebody is going to just divine interventionally stop whatever jukes move is happening to you because this is your God right. These subscriptions
Mm.
are fucking with your perception of reality.
Right.
That's what you're trying to get you to understand. These subscriptions
Yep.
are fucking with your perception of reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. You
And and
must get
and,
rid of
and, and
subscriptions.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. All of them people that you see Diddy bopping into the country, 5,000 a day
Diddy.
or better, they got subscriptions. Look, they got subscriptions too, but they not letting these subscriptions get in the way of their reality.
I get a job
See the
and I get
difference?
to.
See? Yeah, see the difference? Yeah, you this and you that and you this belief and then you got this belief system and you full blooded this and you ain't got a drop of African blood. But that shit, but them people that's hungry, just like in that comic book when Joker he got the drop on Batman and he said, yeah, if I starve you go out and steal too, just like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers can be so high and mighty on your morals when you're comfortable. And these motherfuckers is calling you soft. All these people around the world is calling you soft because you don't want to do shit. And the only thing you know how to do is argue. Only thing you teach your kids is how to argue and curse and shit. You don't have nothing to teach your kids and provide no resources or a pipeline or chain of command for your kids or nothing. And motherfuckers is coming to this country hungry. They're hungry. And they looking at you like food. They like, nigga, these niggas is soft. All these motherfuckers do is argue about what they ain't gonna do and what they don't do, what they ain't gonna do, and arguing about who they ain't and what they ain't. And there's money to be made. Shit, I remember we used to tell the niggas and the young boys in the hood, every time you see snow, that's money falling out fucking. You should be
Mm-hmm.
figuring out how to shovel that shit, how to lay some salt down or sweep that shit or something. That's money falling out the fucking sky. You know what I'm saying?
Now, if you
But
don't want
we
to go
can't,
get it,
right? But we can't teach our kids how to do for self on nothing because what the fuck do we spend our time? We spend our time in gender wars, in identity wars, and religion wars.
Yep.
Just
And trying
arguing
to
about shit
circumvent the
all the fucking
situation.
right. Arguing your way to the fucking slaughterhouse. Can't
Okay.
provide no
Uh-oh.
resources and nothing for your kids. You leave
Uh-oh.
debt behind for your kids and an extension on a fucking
Uh-oh.
argument because you believe this shit. You had this subscription, and then your kids pick up your debt and your subscriptions and carry on that bullshit.
Right. Because you couldn't keep it real with yourself.
Because we
well,
can't keep it
all I
real with
can say
ourselves, like you
is,
said. We can't keep it
remember
real with
when you were
ourselves.
talking about, remember when you was talking about hunger? I don't know who said it, but it's a great quote. It says, "Hunger knows no morality."
Right.
I'm gonna say it one more time. Hunger knows no morality. So when you hungry,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna do some immoral shit if you got to get something to eat. So
So like
that's just
this.
that.
So I want to pose this question. Do any of my detractors think that if y'all niggas was hungry and you ain't had no food to eat and you saw me with some food that I wouldn't feed you because you don't believe what I believe or because you ain't got the same subscription as me and because you ain't got the same identity card as me, if you think that I would let you starve, you got me sadly mistaken.
Right.
Now if you would let me starve, then you got some soul searching to do because at the
Right.
end of the day, I'm not your enemy. I'm not the one who put any of us in this predicament. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when we let our doctrines and our beliefs and our dogma and our rhetoric and our bullshit get in the way of our perception of reality, and so much so that we can that that we've been brought up on to be fucking assholes and let our own brothers and sisters starve because they ain't Muslim or because they ain't this and they ain't that.
Right.
The fuck, dude? You think God don't see that shit, motherfucker?
Right.
Y'all
Yep.
better
You got
hope
a
that
different
y'all
problem.
better hope y'all listen. Y'all better hope that we right and y'all subscriptions is fake because if y'all
Yep.
subscriptions is fake, if y'all subscriptions is real, God know where my heart is. God know where these
Yep.
brothers' heart is. But
Yep.
God see y'all niggas trying to get brownie points. God see y'all
Right.
motherfuckers lying and doing all divisive bullshit and denying your brothers and sisters help and shit because they ain't got the same subscription as you.
Right.
God see that shit, motherfucker. And you
Yep.
gonna have to deal with Peter. You gonna have to deal with Peter. You ain't even gonna get the guy. You gotta deal with Peter.
Mm. Right.
Protected by
That's
Peter.
Look.
straight.
Stand back.
Hey, and
So
that's what I've been telling
we don't
people.
we not. I'm not trying to scold my brothers and sisters. We do sometimes we gotta beat our kids, but we ain't trying to scold you. You know, it's like we doing this out of love.
Yep.
Because shit, we just like G Money said, we all we got. Shit, we try to
Mm-hmm.
be a part of everybody group who hate us. All these motherfuckers who got these different subscriptions and beliefs and identities. Everybody who you
Right.
trying to be don't want you to be them.
Right.
Think about that. You don't like who
And
you
why
are.
is it?
Look, you don't like who you are, and they don't like who you are either.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, well, fuck what you call yourself. They don't like who you are. They know who you
Mm-hmm.
are, and you saying, yeah, I'm this and I'm that, and you telling me that I don't know who I am, but the people who you claiming to be saying that you ain't them.
Like we
Yeah,
said, you
man.
Why
can't
they
go on their
why
reservation.
why they
You got
don't
to make a
welcome you with
reservation.
why they don't welcome you with open arms?
Right. Exactly. You got to make a reservation on their reservation.
Only motherfuckers who telling you to come home is Africa.
Right.
Ain't no Native Americans telling you to come home. Ain't no Jewish motherfuckers telling you to come home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
Arabs telling you to come home. Only if they selling your ass. Shit, they tell you to come. They tell
Come
you
on
to
and
come
debate.
on. Yeah, come on in so I can sell your ass. Yeah, they doing that. Yeah, they still doing that. They selling your ass. Yeah, but yeah, but we just like the great Dr. Ben said, we want to be everybody who don't want nothing to be us. Don't want nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? We always claiming everybody, but and
Mm-hmm.
none of them don't want us. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I want our
Yes,
money and
sir.
natural resources, though.
Just like Khalid Muhammad said, identifying the self-hate. He said, I know how we are. You could take 30 minutes of kung fu and come back
Yep.
and try to slant your eyes in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Ah, Shay. You know what I mean?
Damn,
I say. Right.
30 minutes, though.
Yep.
Yeah,
Words
and
without action have no meaning.
right. So all right, so look, I want to ask this question to y'all right now.
Right.
So we crossing this. We about to cross this you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some light mud been slung, but you know it's all in good faith. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
you know I had a couple videos that I did wanted to bounce off of y'all. Now if y'all if y'all want to wrap this up, we can. Or I did wanted to because it was two videos that I did wanted to show because
Okay.
in the midst of our distractions, right? And our
Mm-hmm.
detractors, and all the bullshit, a lot of us is operating like shit is copacetic. So I know some people
Right.
don't like that where, but they're acting like, like motherfuckers is free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just giving us, the broken record vibes. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
speaking of that, we got the same shit going on in the fucking news. So let me bring awareness to something that's going on, and then I guess we can go and dig up some archives, and we y'all can take it from there or whatever. We can do whatever from that. But I
Right.
wanted to bring awareness to something that just recently happened. You know what I'm saying? That people ain't really talking about. You know what I mean?
All right.
Because we argue about stupid.
I don't know what y'all doing, but it should be all eyes on Jackson, Mississippi right now. There's 6 cops, members of the goon squad. One of them got a phone call from a white lady in Brandon, Mississippi, and she said there's some suspicious black men going in and out of this white lady's house. So they were roommates, whatever. These cops come, handcuff them, beat them, have a taser contest to see who taser hurt them the most, right? Laughing, joking. One of them pulls out his manhood and starts slapping the black guy in the face, trying to put it in his mouth, right? They search the house, they find a dildo, take the dildo, and sexually assault them with it. I don't know if they assaulted them with their genitalia too, but this is what happened. They threw alcohol, chocolate, water in their faces. It was disgusting, bro. beat them half to death, then put the gun in Brother Parker's mouth and squeeze the trigger. Well, they got
Oh
found
my
guilty.
God.
They all getting sentenced this week. The shooter just got 20 years. Y'all need to be paying attention to Mississippi because this shit is crazy right now. The other cops gonna get sentenced this week. Man, I ain't never even seen nothing like this, man. The wildest thing at the sentences, the white cop mom says she's still proud of him.
Now, now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep it a beam. I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all brothers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
My integrity won't allow me to just tell y'all without a shadow of a doubt that shit is an actual thing and that's what happened. Because number one is I wasn't there, so I don't fucking know. And I don't know who the fuck that is. And because I haven't seen that shit, I don't know if that shit really happened. And based upon the caliber of information that we fuck with here, we know that the powers that
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be, they do all kind of psyops and ruses and coup d'etats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, and that's just a disclaimer. Now addressing what he said, not much has changed since the civil rights era, or
Mm-hmm.
the civil rights era. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got police officers now, and sometimes even black police officers. Now they just feel emboldened to allegedly just do all kind of heinous things to black people, right? Quote unquote black people. And then somebody would say, well, they got the wrong identity, so that's why that shit happened to them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't think that they gave a fuck about what their identity was. If these assailants actually did, these heinous acts that's described in this video, or in that video,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? I don't think they gave a fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, just for the sake of the context that I'm presenting, when they gaslight us, right? They're not gaslighting a specific group of us, of our people. They're not saying, look, here's a story for the Moors to get mad about. Here's a story for the Hebrew Israelites to get mad about. Here's a story for the Native American brothers who anti-black to get mad about. They're not doing that. When they gaslight us across the board, so y'all all can get mad. We want all y'all to get mad, whether no matter what you call yourself, no matter what your subscription is. We want you to get mad about this shit. We want you to be outraged about this. You know what I'm saying? Now again, I'm not saying that the story is fake. I'm just saying, dealing with the information that I've been dealing with, I know these people have the propensity to do shit like that, to pull our chain, to wag the dog. You know what I'm saying? Now to address what we heard here. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do y'all brothers feel about the shit that y'all just heard, given the current state of affairs that we have? Does it seem like that we have the ability to protect ourselves, given how we've been conducting ourselves as a people lately? Why would in 2024, why would any police officers still feel that it's cool to do some shit like that, given the shit how we act about George Floyd and all this other shit, right?
Right.
These are valid questions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What y'all
I
think
would
about
think I would think that if it was 100% legitimate, it would be a much bigger story.
Right.
I mean, considering all the podcasters and all the clout chasers that we have out here, somebody would have been reporting on this, I would think. With especially considering how the algorithm is with things of that nature, people who are already predispositioned to like or be trolled or irritated by that type of thing. Don't you think that
Right.
that would have been talked about a whole lot more than just that guy?
True, I'm
Right.
glad that you said that.
Valid
Because
point. Valid
what
point.
is what is our perception of reality? Is our perception of reality uh, authority dictates our truth, or does truth act as an authority? You know what I'm
One of the
saying?
things
So
about the
so
phone, bro.
look now look no wait look I say that to say because I know you about to say we're dead on, but let me shine too. I say that to I say that to say that when the news comes on, right? All right, we could say, all right, well, he said that, right? And of course, we might need the white verification, right? Our brothers and sisters, we needed that white verification. The same way we needed that white verification the day that they allegedly freed us, and some black soldiers told us that our brothers in Texas that they was free, and they said, "Nah, I ain't trying to hear that shit from you. I'm gonna wait till some white people come and tell me." You know what I'm saying? So we need not much has changed since then in that area either. We still need that white verification. So, this brother could come on TV and try to be a whistleblower, right? And he very well might be telling the truth. But then we might have some skepticism just because he's a brother and not because it's Katie Curry or, some devil with a microphone and a logo on it.
Red pill, with
You know what
all
I'm saying?
due respect, the reason I have skepticism is, did he say a name the whole time?
No, I'm not saying that I'm not listen, you my brother. I'm not saying that against you. We
No, I'm
gave
asking you that now that you say that, I don't even think he gave a name of anybody involved. He just said the
he didn't.
officers, right?
He didn't. He didn't.
So come on.
He could be telling the truth to his best of his ability. You know,
How you don't
maybe
have a
somebody.
name?
Right.
Now look,
Not even the
Right.
name of the victim. Not even the
listen,
name of the victim.
listen.
Right.
He kept
I
saying
I
these
have
ladies.
18 or over.
I shot down
Right.
a lot of fraudulent stories that came off of social media. So I'm with you. But what I'm saying is this: let's
Not
just
that it
say
couldn't happen in this
no. Let,
climate.
let's say like because he's saying that because
Right.
now listen let's entertain what he's saying. He's saying that these events have already occurred and these dudes was going to court already, right?
Yeah,
So
so how did
so now
that
look,
slip the
Right.
media? How?
because the media controls the narrative. If they didn't feel like gaslighting people that day, then that shit can get swept under the rug. There's all kind of shit.
Bro,
If they
this is why I couldn't get
they
swept
told
under the rug.
look, it's all kind of shit that got swept under the rug. They came out and said that Forever Chemicals was found in the crotch part of yoga pants. That shit was on the news. And that shit got swept under the rug. Now think about how many girls right now is wearing some yoga pants somewhere, all up in their orifices and shit, and they getting forever chemicals up in their shit. You probably got somebody watching this video right now, kicking off their tights right
All
now,
right. And
and
what I'm
wearing that
telling
shit.
you is, I guarantee you that if you punched in Forever Chemicals on Instagram, it'd be a whole group of videos of people talking shit about it just like you are. That's what I mean when I say they can't sweep it under the rug. They can sweep it under the rug
Right,
for the mainstream, but it's
right.
going to be people on Instagram talking about it. That's why
Listen,
I
I
kind of
agree.
think this story is a little fake, because
Right.
it would be way more people. David Banner wouldn't be talking about that, bro. Come on, David Banner ain't
Now, all
DJ
right.
Khaled.
All right. Now look. Let's say, just for the sake of the conversation, let's say that happens. Let's say, all right, because that video is relatively new. So let's say, all right, in the next couple days, that becomes a thing, and everybody's talking about what this brother is saying, like, yo, these cops did this and the cops did that. You know what I'm saying? Because all right, he gave us some details that we could look into. We can look into a court case that's happening, in the location where he said it, involving these officers. We can look that up to see if that's real right now. But but
And
I'm
I'm gonna tell you, this where he lost me, Lee. This is where I know that in this spicy ass pause world that we live in, if he said they broke in their house and found the dildo,
right,
and then they sexually assaulted him with the dildo. That's what he
correct.
said.
They found it in the house. Now look,
And then he tried to put his dick in his mouth.
this you
He
know what?
said that.
This should be paying attention.
He said he pulled his manhood out.
Now look. This should
Come
be
on,
this
man.
should be
I ain't want
this
to
should
say
be
nothing then, but now you asking me. Come on, bro. You
no
mean to
no you
tell me that was in the
you
court
on point.
documents?
No, you on point. This should be paying attention to detail part two. You know what I mean? Because they said they found the dildo in the house. What are you trying to imply? What are you trying to imply? You know what I'm saying? Now you
Did
know,
he say they was old ladies?
nah, these is niggas.
Oh.
Let's play the video again. Let's play the video again.
Oh.
Hold on, let's play it again. All right. So where
Oh my God.
let's play it again.
I don't know what y'all doing, but it should be all eyes on Jackson, Mississippi right now. There's
Okay,
6
Jackson,
cops, members
Mississippi.
of the goon squad. One of them got a phone call from a white lady in Brandon, Mississippi, and she
Say
said there's
no
some
name.
suspicious black men going in and out of this
A
white
white
lady's
lady.
house.
White
So
lady
they
house.
were
2
roommates,
white
whatever.
ladies.
These cops come, handcuff them, beat them, have a taser contest to see who taser hurt them the most, right?
It seems
Laughing,
kind of
joking.
animated.
One of them pulls out his manhood and starts slapping the black guy in the face, trying to put it in his mouth.
Pulls
All
out
right,
his manhood.
all right. Look, literally pause. I think that's the only time I'm ever using
Literally
that
pause.
phrase. So all right. So now all right. Maybe this is his job. Maybe his job was to come on social media and talk about this. Like maybe this is like the next thing that they want people to be angry about. And
Right.
maybe he was given the job to come on social media and
He
talk about
failed. He failed miserably
it.
because first of all, ain't no
Well, look,
video.
one thing that we do understand about social media is that they can pick and choose what they want to go viral. Shit, all of us have dropped all kind of truth, and they censor all of us. Shit, but between the three of us, we the most censored motherfuckers, you know, streaming right now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever,
Right.
I don't give a fuck how many live streams is on right now. We the most censored niggas that's live streaming right now. You know what I mean?
I feel like I invented Facebook jail. I ain't gonna hold
Yeah,
you on that.
yeah. Nigga, I'm in indefinite face jail. They just got me in. I don't even call it Facebook. It's just
Purgatory.
face jail. Yeah, I'm just. I don't even know. But you know what I mean. But yeah, they can control what they want to go live, what they want to get out there. You know, they can scuff
Right.
whoever they want. You know what I'm saying? So all
Right.
right, when this video seeps through the cracks like a black rose, you know, pun intended. You know what I mean?
Huh.
Y-
Right.
you know, is it possible that it was intentional for us to get, or not us personally, but for people to get this video, you know,
Yeah. A
and then
revelation.
it's like, all right, well, look, it ain't shit, but to do some research. Now, the thing is that a lot of people, a lot of these talking heads, they lack the integrity to go and do real research. You know, they might
Right.
look up something, but then they'll
But
say,
not
yeah, I looked it
research
up.
it.
Right. They'll say, I looked it up. But
Yep.
then you say, well, did you research it? And they say, well, what you talking about? Yeah, well, go back
Right.
and research it then.
Right.
Research. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
we had to do
You did the search.
another word. We might have to do another word segment. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
that's another can of worms. You know what I mean? But all
Mm-hmm.
right. So if people do the research, right, and they look into this, right, and they say, okay, well, yeah, yeah, this is a real case that's going on. Now what they said the dudes was the Goon Squad. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? And where is it at? In Jacksonville, Mississippi, the Goon Squad, the sentencing of the Goon
Yep.
No,
Squad.
Brandon, Mississippi.
No, but
There you
it's
go.
right here on the screen. It says the sentencing of the Goon Squad, Jacksonville, Mississippi. So
Oh,
if anybody got a free
Jackson.
phone, I don't got no free phone. If somebody look that up? Because then we could just do it live right now, you know. And I'm pretty sure somebody watching this, they probably looked it up by now already. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see no motherfucking comments, so you know, good luck with that. But you know what I mean?
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, the Goon Squad in Jacksonville, Mississippi. That's just it. Ain't shit, but looking up doing some searches.
Right.
We can
Jackson,
find out
Mississippi.
the validity of that right now.
Yeah, it was on
well,
Daily Mail earlier. I seen it on Daily Mail earlier.
Do you got a free phone? Do you got the laptop? Can you look it up?
I ain't got the laptop, but I'll see if this tablet work. That shit was moving slow.
Can you look it up? Because I
huh?
can't. I'm stoked. I'm stoked right now.
He said I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, I'm trying to do this thing right here.
I do know that they had the Red Dogs in Georgia and that stood for run every drug dealer out of Georgia.
Yeah, but
So
I'm saying, can we look up a court? We try and find if this is a real thing because you brought up a real.
Right.
We talking about real. We logically assessing this right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, okay, we
And the
got this guy
validity of
right
it.
here. You know, I don't have any apprehensions. About this dude. He very well might be mean well. You know, but also I understand the name of the game and I know how this shit is played. That he very well might be, working for the nefarious clandestines. You know what I'm saying?
I also know that we live in a society where shit get blown out of proportion. Where they just had an episode of I'm addicted to clips now because with my personality and my analytical ability, that clip shit is so good for me. They'll have one clip of a great movie or a great scene, and you got 60 seconds and it'll have the whole best shit right there. So you can see certain shit. And the reason I say that is they had a joint with Tony Soprano and his right hand man girlfriend in the car. And they was going to get some coke, and on their way to get the coke, they had a car accident. Now he didn't fuck her or anything, but everybody kind of knows that if they'd have got that coke, they'd got horny and high and he'd probably smash. Point of the matter is, by the time the story got back to the mobsters, they crashed because he was getting his dick sucked, and when he came, he crashed literally. And they said that
Yeah.
when the police came,
Banged
the
out,
bitch.
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the story did happen, but I can't possibly believe it happened the way he described it. Because if it happened the way he described it, it would have had to have gotten out. Because regardless of whether they wanted to sweep it under the rug or not, we live in a sensational poor society. You got poor suspect behavior in Mississippi with racist cops. Oh my God, they would eat that up.
Now, all right, now let's get to the other part because I want to clarify. Now, look, we're gonna get. Now, you know what? I ain't even gonna say that because it's too much stuff going around like that. So, what I'm gonna say is this: we're going to look into this, right? And
Right.
we're gonna find out if the Goon Squad thing is a real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we're gonna get to that in a minute. But right now, we're gonna look to see if he said that the fake strap was in the house.
Right.
Positive, he said they went found it in the house.
Right? They search the house. They find a dildo. Take the
Oh,
They searched the house.
come on, man. Listen, pause literally, man. This is my second time using that. Pun intended. Pause literally. Come on, man. Seriously? What are you trying to imply? Who are these dudes? Who are these people that they saw some brothers in the house with fake straps in the house? Whose house is this? This
Yeah.
is the
They didn't
legal.
say how I got in there.
I'm
Did
on
they
my
bring
Evo
it?
shit. I'm on my Evo shit now. What is the meaning of this?
Dude,
Hmm.
it, it is Jack. Do they have a wealthy area of Jackson, Mississippi?
Stop playing with me. What the hell is going on here, man?
do do successful gangster rappers live in Jackson, Mississippi?
Hold the fuck up, man. Hold on. Look, I already know he said it, but what the
Is
fuck?
anybody from Bad Boy South in Jackson, Mississippi?
Oh wow.
Who owned this
You
mansion?
don't have. Yeah. You don't have to ask Diddy. You know he
Is this
did.
the Col- is this the Combs family mansion that we talking about?
All I know is
Took that.
when you
Took that.
say
Took that.
when you say searching houses and finding dildos, I
Hold
definitely
on.
saw an episode of Cam and Mace's
Come on,
podcast
man.
when Mace admitted that when Cam admitted that when he went to go visit Mace when he was living with Puff, he went to use the bathroom and found a dildo in there. And when he questioned Mace on it, it was crazy. I imitated Mace. Mace was like, "That's Son John," and
Now
then
listen,
Mace,
I know that's a real story because Cam used that shit in a diss, and now they talked about it on their podcast. So this those is that's he brought that shit up twice. You're not. That's not fake. That's not a fake situation. Real. Cam really had that shit on his chest. Like, that's my man. Like, we squashed the beef and all that. But no, that's a real story. I went to the
Damn.
crib and your man had a fake swipe in there, and your man had a fake swipe in there, and you was there. So yeah, come on, man, that ain't cool.
And
That ain't never gonna be cool.
and you used the bathroom.
And it was in the bathroom, so it's not like it was like, oh, it fell out the cabinet. It was like it was in plain view. So it was like, how
In a
did you not?
public area.
How did you not have? How did you not have disdain for this joint? Like, how did you not be like, yo, what the fuck you got in here? You know what I'm saying, yo, man. And it's like almost like you trying to invite me to some shit. Like, y'all ain't put that shit away. Y'all ain't know I was coming. Y'all ain't know I was on my way over there. And y'all ain't put that shit away. Y'all ain't put y'all. Come on, man. That's all you trying to. You think I'm cool with that shit? That's kind of, listen. I'd have been upset about that. That's a flavor of foul.
I mean, I always figured him joining the church didn't have all to do with music, but I kept my thoughts to myself.
Well, I felt like that. I felt like he was getting away from some shit that he saw, and he was like, you know what? That's enough is enough. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, if you living with Puff, you done seen some shit.
Yeah, literally. Oh, that's funny. Play on words, pun intended.
I didn't even mean it that way, but that's funny. because I
That's
guess
nasty.
I mean, if the leaked audio is to be believed, obviously he means that literally when he say take that. So
took that.
Listen, it's leaked all right.
Oh man.
You heard that video? You heard that audio?
Motherfucking body leak. It's motherfucking body leaking. That's what leaking. You know what I mean?
Listen, people were saying that's AI. I said,
what is that? What is that? That's the news? What's going on?
Yeah. This the video. I'm gonna send it to this phone. It's because I just downloaded it. It was on World Star.
Yeah, it said somebody got shot. I heard that shit. What happened?
We're talking about the boy got shot in his he got shot in the mouth by the officer they gave 20 years to. I wasn't really listening to it. I was listening to y'all.
So that's the Goon Squad video?
Yeah, this is the one
he
from the news.
He did say he put the gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. He did say that.
Okay. All right, so let me play the rest of this video. So all right, he did. I think
all right, and I'll send that to that.
Sexually assault them with it. I don't know if they assaulted them with their genitalia too, but this is what happened. They threw alcohol, chocolate, water in their faces. It was disgusting, bro. Beat them half to death. Then
hold on. What the fuck is the chocolate?
Where did they get the alcohol from?
They put chocolate?
What the fuck is going on here?
Where did they find chocolate?
They just randomly ride around with chocolate.
Who did they do this to? Jodeci? Like, who the fuck is these people? They got chocolate. They got the fake swipes in there. What the hell is going on? Is this the Blue Oyster? I think they ran down on the Blue Oyster. Is this a raid on the Blue Oyster?
Do y'all ever watch that? Have y'all ever heard about that show? Oh, I can't even think of it, but
hey, man, what the fuck is going on here, man?
It's like a players club down south.
Hey man, and, this story is real zesty, man. It's getting zesty about it, man. What the fuck? Yo, but tell the story that you was about to tell. I didn't want to cut you off. My fault. This is just crazy, man.
I can't even think of this story that I wanted to tell about. I'm pretty sure that the story that we watching is Mississippi, right?
Yeah, Jacksonville, Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm just appalled at all of this. Like, I guess it would be better if it was Ku Klux Klan burned in Mississippi. This here is just everything is egregious about this story. One detail is worse than the other.
Wow. So, all right, Pope.
How did it escalate from 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 beat up the
Yeah,
chocolate,
he run into the house.
the
Yeah.
alcohol, the water, to finding the dildo?
Yeah, what the hell? Like, what the
Was this on
hell?
Ring
Why did
camera?
you
Was this
touch
on
that
Ring?
body?
Did they see this on Ring? Is this how they know
Now,
this?
now
Now who
again, all
told
right.
the story?
Now back to the superstructure of what we was talking about. Now you see, remember I said maybe he was employed to come out here as the messenger to come out and tell everybody because now because this was a couple days ago and now you got a
Incinerate.
video on World Star basically confirming what he's talking about. See what I'm saying?
Right.
But we got to ask the
Mm.
question: Why is this? Why is this shit being leaked? Pun intended. Right now.
Oh,
Why is this shit being leaked right now?
I don't know. It seeming
Why
kind of
why
puffy to me.
why this shit ain't come out before? Because
Did you just say it seemed kind of puffy? That's
Yeah.
yeah,
that's crazy.
it seemed like this story is literally being inflated. Yeah, like yeah, seriously, like you know what I mean? Like it's like all right, well, when did this happen? Right? When did these heinous acts occur? And why is it now just breaking the surface?
Just going to
We,
trial.
we got people that look. There's motherfuckers that make videos about Philadelphia every day. They don't even live in Philadelphia. These niggas
Right.
scour the internet looking for stories and shit. So when this shit now E brought a good point. When this shit initially happened, and you got so many talking heads out here that's trying to get clout, make a name for themselves. You know, no
Right.
disrespect, right? But you know that's what's happening. You know, motherfuckers will make a video about anything. You know what I'm
This
saying?
story sell itself.
So yeah. So how did this fly under the radar until now? That
Yeah.
alone makes me think that this is purposely being put out right now.
Right.
Purposely. I
Yep.
could be wrong. Look, I could be wrong.
Nothing leaks.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. It seems suspect. You know what I'm saying? We got this video here that's a couple days old. We got the World Star video that's following behind
About
it,
to come
right?
in. Yeah. Right.
That
Send it to my Bluetooth.
so like maybe so it was on World Star. I was like, all right, so yeah, we're gonna make this a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've tried to upload shit to World Star plenty of times. They won't take none of my shit.
Yeah, they don't fuck no, they don't fuck with none of my videos.
Yeah, they don't take none of
I
my
had some
shit.
good ones. Nope. Yeah, they
You
don't
know what I'm
fuck with none of my
saying? So
videos.
so so there is some hand picking shit. Now remember the dude? No, y'all remember the dude from World Star got his head knocked off? Y'all remember that? The dude who owned
Yep.
World.
Q. Yep.
Yep, he
Q.
got his head knocked off. So who owns a World Star now? Is it what is it? AI or something? Maybe
It's
AI
gotta
did
be
it.
because they did something wrong with it.
Maybe yeah, maybe AI
Maybe
did
it
it.
was a hostile takeover. Maybe that's why he got his
Yeah,
head
for
knocked off.
sure. Like what's that shit? What's the one with the tree? What's that company? They used to always book people shit. Um, I remember in a minute. It was on. This shit taking hell long. I could have downloaded it on WorldStar on this phone.
But see, and this is the thing. You know, I gotta keep driving this home because you know we talking about intellectual infighting because and this childish answer and all this arguing and stupid shit. We don't pay attention to the details. God is in
Right.
two places: truth and the details. When you come across truth, you got to make your godly change, as Dr. Ben would say. You know what I'm saying? But God is also in the details. And we miss
Right.
the details all the time because we got too much other shit on our plate. We got a war with this person. We got to reply to that person. We got to argue and bicker with this person. We got to block that person. And all of this discord and discourse that happens in our communities and shit, boom, we get hit with these stories that just come out of nowhere. And
Right.
we're not even aware of the nefarious intent with the predicated malevolence from the nefarious clandestine group. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers these motherfuckers play on our heartstrings all the fucking time because they know you more. They know you hypersensitive. Shit, look. Here's another movie, Undercover Brother 2. Go watch that shit and see how they play on the insecurities of hypersensitive people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole agenda.
I tell you this, they got I ain't see Undercover Brother 2, but I definitely seen Undercover Brother 1. And I tell you this, they got a whole new generation of white she devils who don't even believe they white and feel like they can appropriate the N word and the bro word and sashay shante they ass at all the concerts and events and have black girlfriends to get fucked by niggas and have their opinions on hood politics and spinning and all that.
That's because they woke. And Undercover Brother 2, the nefarious clandestine group set up all kind of bull, aka the man, right? He set up all these fake coffee shops where they would drug people with this shit that they called woke. And that these motherfuckers would get all hypersensitive and be arguing about stupid shit all the fucking time. And they would be missing the boat completely while these motherfuckers doing whatever.
That's the whole woke movement. That's the whole woke movement.
Shit in the fucking movie.
That's why I hate being called woke now.
Right now, it's the whole world right now. Everybody's woke. Everybody's arguing about stupid shit, but you're missing the boat completely about what the fuck they really doing to you. Because you accept authority as truth and not truth as authority. So anybody can come along and gaslight you and tell you some bullshit, pull your chain and set you on a course that go nowhere. Because you're too damn hypersensitive and you're not logically assessing the world around you. That's what's happening. They put this shit in the goddamn movie, Undercover Brother 2. And my apology for not having that shit queued up, but I didn't think I was going to talk about that shit tonight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's coming soon. Coming soon.
Okay.
Look, this is a knowledge freestyle for real. You know, we don't never have a script. We just motherfucking have a topic. Sometimes we ain't got no topic. We just go in and the universe do the rest.
Let me ask you this, brother. You said tonight. Technically, it's on the East Coast. It's 2:38 in the morning. When does night turn to morning? Like, say I went out. But when I first started talking with y'all, it was before 12 o'clock. So that was late at night. When do late at night become early in the morning?
Well, listen. This is Philadelphia, California. You know what I'm saying?
No. I'm not talking scientific.
No, I'm not talking scientific neither. What I'm saying is that this is Philadelphia, California. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find my little logo right here. Shameless plug. Don't mean to cover your face, but it's tonight somewhere. If you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
So in California,
11:39.
It's 11 exactly. It's 11:39. So it's still tomorrow over there. You know what I'm saying? Or still yesterday over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See that new James Bond movie or nope? The new
Yo, you didn't answer my question, bro. What I'm saying is this. All right. Say for instance, we're not talking about universal time. I'm just talking about anybody. You go out on a Friday, all right? You leave your crib at 10:30. You get to the club at 1. You have a good time. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You had your drinks. You mess with your hoes, your women, whatever. You get in your car. Y'all decide whether or not you're going home or going to get breakfast. Do you say, man, it's 9 times out of 10 you're going to be like, it's been a crazy night. It's been a long night. But it's actually in the morning. So what I'm saying is, when does the long night become the early morning? Because you can have a long night all the way to 6, 7 in the morning.
Well, well, from
Right.
my perspective, if we're looking at the
It
book
ain't
of
no
Lid,
universal answer. I just want to hear what you
well,
got
I
to
mean,
say.
if you're asking me, I'm gonna open up the book of Lid, and the book of Lid says at 4 a.m. is the morning. So anything after 3 a.m. is the morning. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm
So
out,
it's in your book
so
at
let's say
3 o'clock
if
at
I'm
night.
out, if 2 o'clock in
Anything
the
at 4 is the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning is nighttime. 3 o'clock in the morning is nighttime. 4 o'clock in the morning is the morning time. 5 o'clock in the morning is I would never wake up for the day at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I might wake up for the day at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I might wake up for the day at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So your long night ends at 3 a.m.
Yes. If you
That's
want,
all
if
I
you
want.
want,
That's
if you
all I
want,
want to
if
hear
you
about.
want reasoning, you want reasoning. There it is. You know.
Now I'm good with that.
So that's from the book of Lid,
That's right.
Okay.
the Alpha Don Omega Supreme Wisdom. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted. When does night become? That's all. Because I keep hearing, even myself, even at the Beans concert, I got home about 7 o'clock in the morning. And as I was walking from getting my coffee, I'm walking in the house making my video. It's been a long night. It's 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. Fuck, I'm talking about it's a long night. So that's all I'm saying.
Right.
For
Well,
most
one
people, the
thing.
night is
Right.
over
Now
when
look.
they get into bed.
Now
Hmm.
3 a.m. is the inverse of the crucifixion. They crucified Jesus at 3 p.m. So the inverse of that, the upside down cross, is 3 a.m. So much so that when they do those satanic remasterings of the songs, they put the tag on the song 3 a.m. Now, if anybody ever fucked with LimeWire back in the day, then you should have some idea what I'm talking about. You might have seen those MP3 files, right? And you say, you see new music and you download it and you say, well, all these shit say 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 a.m. What the fuck is 3 a.m.? You know what I'm saying? It's just like that dude when they told you, yeah, when we mastered the song and put the devil version on there and shit, they put that code 3 a.m. on there.
It's like
You know what I'm
Drake got a
saying?
song called 3 a.m. in Toronto. Now I see what that was talking about.
Yeah. Yep. But see, we're not aware of these things because we argue about stupid shit. Motherfuckers is doing rituals and shit on you, just like you go to the concert. These motherfuckers want to be performers and shit. You go to the concert, they got that Cana Phoenicia purple light. What's going on there? You know what I'm
You
saying?
started this off
That
asking me.
Scarlet
Go ahead.
Light, Red Light District. You know what I'm saying? Even just like how we talked about the karmic debt that's paid. The karmic debt can be paid simply through the color of orange. Because you can't say that I didn't warn you. So if I showed you the color orange, right, or I showed you some oranges, just like when motherfuckers get killed in the Godfather movie, right,
He
or
eat the
Narcos,
orange.
or Narcos, right, somebody's gonna get killed. Just like when you look at your dashboard and you see orange lights on your fucking dashboard, something bad is about to happen.
You
You
know
know,
what's crazy? That's one of the greatest scenes in The Godfather is he's picking the oranges and they shoot him. He stops to get fruit at the Italian market and he's picking out some oranges and he see the guys running down and he starts running and they shoot him. And at the end, he's in the garden and when he had a heart attack, he got an orange.
right?
That's
And
crazy.
you can't say I didn't warn you. I warned you that death was coming because what's after orange? Red. Red is death. You know. So when you see high voltage, don't touch this. The red sign, you will fucking die. You know what I'm saying? If you run the red light, you will enter the intersection, impending danger, you can fucking die. Your airbag on your car ain't working right. You could fucking die. Red light. So this is color code symbology. That's why green is good to go. You good to go. Green is growing. You Negroes need growth, but intended. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You you might have a green thumb, for breaking up Buzz, but Tang is for the children. All right, that's enough on the encrypted rhetoric. You know what I mean? But seriously, you know what I mean? There's a lot of shit at play that motherfuckers is not aware of that literally goes over their heads like fiddits, like that shit that I just said for a lot of y'all. It goes
So
over
sad.
your head like fiddits because we not paying attention to what we really
And
need to
I'm
be
gonna
paying
run it back
attention to.
over.
So much
Yep.
so that somebody can come and say something encrypted to you, you don't even know what it means or care because you're too worried about arguing about stupid shit. But you can't say I didn't warn you. See? And that's how the karmic debt is paid through encrypted messages, through color code symbology, through number sequencing. Can't say I didn't warn you. You know what I'm saying? Now you can say the same for us because we've been bringing attention to this shit for umpteen years now.
Right.
I think we crossed the threshold of umpteen. You know what I mean? You black, you speak black, you know what umpteen is. That's somewhere in
Right.
between like 8 and 9 or something, right? Umpteen.
Right.
Anything past 10 is umpteen.
Right.
Umpteen years.
Yeah.
We got the websites going.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Open-ended.
PopeandEnt.com. Shout out to
Yes, sir.
FairfieldRescueLive.com. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is
Right.
the sister site. You know what I'm saying? I guess you could say that. Because all good things come in twos. That's why you have pair rents, a pair who rents. Now if you rent the child, then who owns the child? The state. If you went to the hospital, you know what I'm saying? But you're the pair who rents. You know what I mean? See, and shit like this, it's like, all right, like, again, law is not exclusive to, a belief system or identity. Anybody can take the opportunity to understand law. And also, understanding law can be taught by our brothers and sisters who have a different identity than us, but have the same hue as us and the same plight as us. So I would encourage our brothers and sisters to come into our communities and to teach us law despite what we call ourselves. Don't let that be the reason why you don't why you can't be of service. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to E, but I'm pretty sure he would have something to say to that. You know what I mean? Did you mute yourself? Yeah, you muted yourself, man. You muted yourself. Yeah. Yep. That's the chin. This is the chin camera right here. See, I can shoot at him right now because he can't hear me. So, well, you yo, you on mute, yo. Unmute your phone. You gotta unmute. You gotta hit the unmute. There you go. Yeah. So we ain't hear nothing you said.
I didn't say anything. I went to the bathroom.
Oh, I thought you were saying something like I seen your mouth moving and shit.
I was moving my mouth to say that you said I had something to say, and I didn't have nothing to say because I was at the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So, all right. All right. So this story. All right. So E. Now that they saying that this is allegedly a real thing, right? And even though it does have some zesty undertones, right?
To say the least.
Well, what is your position now? Now that they saying that it's a real thing.
I didn't say that I didn't believe it happened. I said I didn't believe
Yeah.
the details of the incident.
Right. I get that. I don't either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, so all right, so that's what you have to say. Is that what you have to say?
No, that's not all I have to say. I have to say that this is Mississippi, right?
Yeah.
And we all know what happened in Mississippi. We all know what goes on in the South. And as much as they want to be reformed, it is what it is. So if a black man could get gunned down in Philadelphia, if, they say Chicago and New York City, interestingly enough, the two biggest places that they have the immigration problem, Chicago and New York, are allegedly the hotbeds and political capitals of black political excellence and power in America. So I find it very funny that those are the two cities that they use. But the point I'm trying to make is, if they can get gunned down in Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, and any other democratic city or quote unquote democratic state, why wouldn't they also be able to get gunned down and brutally murdered in these red KKK controlled, basically no reparations, and let's take America back to the good old days states?
Okay.
So, of course it could happen.
So, all right, is it safe to say that being gunned down in Chicago is different than being gunned down in this particular situation? There was alleged that someone was shot in the mouth after they were gunned down.
After they got the shit beat out of them, and allegedly had manhood put near their mouth, and then assaulted with a sexual implement.
That's what I mean. They got gunned down, and then somebody got shot in the mouth. So being gunned down and what the fuck is going on?
All that is just, you need to strike all that from the record.
So are you saying that being gunned down in the South is being being gunned down in Chicago?
No comment, man. I don't even want to talk no more. Like you took that a whole place it didn't need to go.
I'm sorry. It was too easy. I'm sorry. All right. So all right, look.
You're not sorry, but go ahead.
No, seriously. But I don't know if this is a real situation, and I don't ever want to make fun of the misfortunes of others, because that in itself is sadistic. So
what he talk about is sadistic.
But listen, we all have been indoctrinated to see comedy in that regard. So you know what I mean? One has to attempt to purge themselves of that appetite for that kind of sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? That is something that really we all have to have the integrity to at least attempt to do. It's like, yo, I shouldn't be prone to laugh at the misfortunes of others. I realize where that came from. I realize that the powers that shouldn't be gave me that to give me this sadistic mindset, so I really wouldn't care about other people, and I would even go as far as to compete with other people and find solace in thriving when other people are struggling. So yeah, that's not a good position to take. You know what I'm saying? Look at how when the pandemic was happening and niggas was making songs like, oh yeah, that pandemic money running out, y'all niggas is struggling, y'all niggas is hurt, I'm recession proof. That's sadistic. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, especially for black people to do that shit to each other, that's crazy.
In their defense, after about the 20th vacation video and crab video, I feel the same way. For 18 months, my timeline was assaulted with niggas who used to be broke as the elevator in the projects, shoving money in your face, calling you broke bitches, having money stacked up and down their arm, crab and lobster every day. We in Puerto Rico, we in Las Vegas, we here. But squatters went up to $4,000. Weed was $75 an eighth, but nobody gave a fuck. So I think that is funny. You may say it's laughing at somebody's misery, but I think that shit is funny.
I mean, in the context of what we're talking about, but outside in the super.
I see you chuckled a little too.
but yeah, inside the context, yes. But in the superstructure of it, it's not funny.
No,
You know, and that's
not at all.
what
Right,
I'm
right,
speaking
right,
to.
right.
It's like it's
Hey,
really, it's really.
I found that video.
Well, yeah, roll that shit.
Okay.
Just shoot him in the mouth joint, pause.
Right.
Come on, man.
Former deputies are facing sentencing today for torturing 2 black men last year. So far, a federal judge sentenced Hunter Elwood to 20 years in prison. Jeffrey Middleton will be sentenced this afternoon. The rest of the men will follow over the next couple of days.
Now, these men pleaded guilty in August to a slate of state and federal charges, and prosecutors say that the officers nicknamed themselves the Goon Squad because of their willingness to use excessive force and not report it. NBC News correspondent Antonia Hilton joins us now. Antonia, I mean, frankly, these charges are disgusting, and it's something that, unfortunately, some people didn't realize were even happening or forgot that this even happened, and it's not quite as rare as we think. What are the charges specifically?
You know, you're right to point that out, because one of the conversations happening in Mississippi right now is that for many black elders there, this feels like a relic of what they were hoping was a bygone era, something from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s in the South that shouldn't be happening today. But what happened that night in January of 2023 is that these 5 former deputies and 1 police officer entered this home, no warrant, no evidence that anything was happening there. And they proceeded to torture these men for hours using food, at one point a sex toy, and threatening an execution. And that's how one of the men, Michael Jenkins, ended up being shot in the mouth by one of the officers, who's the officer who has been sentenced to 20 years. So this is heinous, doesn't even really describe how awful all of this is. And on top of all of what I just described, they then tried to plant evidence, guns, drugs on these men. And it took months for these 2 victims, Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker, to be believed. And so, you know, there's relief that we're here now. But there's another world in which that actually wouldn't have been the case.
It's sick. Somehow Jenkins and Parker did survive. What are they saying about these sentencings?
Well, they are pushing for the maximum sentences. And it's not just the 2 of them. It's actually an entire black community in the Jackson area rising up here and saying, you really need to send a message now. And, you know, we have 20 years for one officer. That officer is facing the most serious charges because of having shot Jenkins in the mouth. But they're hoping something very similar is coming for the other 5 men involved in this. And now, on top of all of that, the local DA is going to have to review all kinds of cases in association with the Goon Squad. So think about this. You know, there's the story of just these 6 guys, but really there is a bigger process here that could take years, undoing all the harm that was likely done.
And how many of those victims were not believed, right? Incredible.
All right, Antonia Hilton,
Wow.
thank you so much for your reporting. We appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Stay on.
Now I want to speak again to this sadistic behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where the tire meets the road, as they say. Yo, that whatever that shit.
We're on mute for a second.
This is where the tire meets the road right here. So, you know,
Right.
see the sadistic mindset that we all been taught to laugh at the misfortunes of others can be prevalent to the point that this can be humorous, especially to people who have subscriptions. What do I mean by that? Let's say that these brothers were Hebrew Israelites. Let's say that these brothers were Native American. Let's say these brothers were African American. Let's say they were foundational Black Americans. You know, let's say they were Africans, right? You know what? Let's just hone in. Let's stop right there. Let's just say they were Africans, right?
Yeah.
If these brothers was Africans, right? How many of us among us would go and find solace and find this to be humorous because these stinking Africans got sodomized by some no good, bring out the guilt, Pulp Fiction type good old boys. You know what I'm saying?
Bring out the guilt.
How many of y'all would think that shit is funny because, oh yeah, it was some feathers motherfuckers who or it was some Moorish motherfuckers who thought that they could squat in somebody's house and or because they didn't have the right ordinance or jurisdiction or whatever, and this happened to them, and that's funny because they have a different subscription than you and me. How many among us would think that shit was funny? I wouldn't give a fuck what them niggas call themselves.
Right.
I wouldn't give a fuck if it was one Hebrew, one Moor, one Native American, one foundational black, and one African in that motherfucker.
Yep.
And it's like if they want to gaslight us, they can indirectly bring us together by doing some shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't give a fuck if none of the motherfuckers agreed with nothing I had to say. I'm coming in that motherfucker. I'm coming in that motherfucker like Bruce Willis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That might have went over y'all head, like bring out the gift. But if he was here,
Right.
he could validate that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
I would be coming in that motherfucker like Bruce Willis. Like y'all crazy.
He really should have let Zed have his way with him, but he couldn't stomach that.
Yeah, listen,
Bruce Willis could not stomach that, bro.
But being Bruce Willis in that regard, how many of us have the sadistic mindset to let that shit happen to him like that? Because we don't
Bruce
have the
Willis
same.
was white and wouldn't let that happen. We would do that to our own black brother.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that point up. You beat me to it.
Right.
So what Bruce Willis is white, and he seen that shit and said, "Man, I can't let that shit happen to that brother."
And this was a man who was trying to kill him.
Right.
And he still couldn't allow that to happen to him as a man.
Right.
So maybe if we had a strong melanated, carbonated force down there in Jackson, Mississippi, that didn't care about subscriptions and identities and shit like that, but just a universal love for each other. Just like how it's different bees in the beehive, but all the different kind of bees come out to defend the fucking queen. Yep. You know what I'm saying? We can learn a lot from the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to the African ants out there dropping knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, while we on the subject of animals and kingdoms, I'm gonna give you some history and something more closer to what we talking about. Anybody who lives in Philadelphia, especially people who live near the park or go out by the park, are very well familiar with those big ass flying birds that we call geese. If you notice, those geese are everywhere because they don't have any real natural predators, and we aren't allowed to shoot them or hunt them. Not that we would want to, but those other people would. And shout out to my Cambodian friends, but they also have a fondness for the geese down there in South Philly by Roosevelt Park. But anyway, I digress. Those geese aren't native to Philadelphia. They're actually called Canadian geese. And it's sort of like Canadian bacon and buffalo wings. They're named after where they're from. So the Canadian geese come from Canada, and they come down here for the winter because they got reverse migratory patterns. The cold birds come down to the warmer areas. You know what I'm saying? Most birds go down south. United States is south for Canada. So the Canadian geese come to Philly because the winter is a lot less harsher in Philadelphia than it is in Canada. And over the course of the years, the people feed the geese. So at the end of the winter, the geese would always fly back to Canada. After years and years of getting fed and getting fat, the geese decided not to go back. So
it's good here.
They've been stuck here for the whole time. The geese aren't from Canada. The geese aren't from Philadelphia. The geese are from Canada. The reason I bring this up is humans in Philadelphia have grown up around the geese. We stop our cars. These motherfucking Philadelphian drivers don't stop for people, but they'll stop for them geese. They know that if you hit them geese, you're going to get in trouble. Now, normally you don't hit the geese because they can fly. Even though they big and fucking fat, they can run real fast, and they also can fly. They're aquatic birds. They can float on the river, in the water, with little geese feet, and then they could fly like eagles and shit. One of the things that I learned how to do is when you're dealing with autistic children or you're dealing with traumatized children, I was way ahead of the curve on this. They got this thing called animal therapy now, where they have these therapy rescue dogs, the fighting pit bulls and greyhounds and dogs who was also mistreated and mishandled. They go help out kids who was mistreated and mishandled. They both help each other with their shit. See, I was way ahead of the curve with knowing that when you've been traumatized and when you've been fucked over, an animal is the best thing for you. So I used to take the kids out to fuck with the geese because you could chase the geese and the geese would run and they'd fly, and then you could get them big cheap loaves of bread and throw the bread,
Yeah.
and the geese will fly everywhere to get it, and they'll start fighting and pecking each other, and the kids just love that shit. You know what I
Right.
noticed though? And you can
Right.
do this with your own experiment. Anytime the big geese didn't mind, but anytime you came near one of them babies, all the geese that just got finished fighting each other and biting each other in the butt and fighting for position to get that bread, they would put them beefs aside and surround that baby duck and chase whoever you was right out of that circle. Them geese would
Right.
turn mean on you, bro. I've seen geese. I had a kid, the geese chased him right in the river. Right in that little pond right there. They chased him right in that motherfucker because he got too close to the kids. The point I'm trying to make is we got predators, we got coaches, we got police, we got AAU people, and whether it's sexual, whether it's economical, whether it's abuse, we got people picking up and abusing our kids on a daily basis, and ain't no geese, no human geese surrounding them kids to protect them. So we got geese that take care of their young better than humans.
Right.
Crazy.
Think about
Yep.
that, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
deep,
I
man.
just
Fuck
did.
around
Yeah,
them
that's
baby
And
deep.
geese and see
listen,
what happens to you.
listen. I appreciate you for bringing that, full circle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, you
That
had
For
was
your
a,
little
sure.
that was
animal
that was
reference. I had to
that
come.
was a
I mean,
perfect. You segued the fuck out that segue. That
Yeah.
segue was segueing. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, and the geese in this regard is like the ikata. They say the ikata, the stray cat. That don't want to go back home. You know what I'm saying? They get too fat to fly back. Because you hang around motherfuckers that don't fly. See, a lot
Right.
of these motherfuckers is running eagle. They from the running eagle tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because eagles are supposed to fly. They don't run. You know, the,
that's
the eagle
crazy.
can't. The eagle don't fly because he hang with chickens. You're around motherfuckers
Mm-hmm.
that don't want nothing for themselves. But you got wings. You can fly and come back. You know what I'm saying? But the
Mm-hmm.
akata, the stray cat. You know what I'm saying? The goose that got too fat to fly back. Is trying to make a better, comfier prison here. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
get. They just want to make a comfier prison, comfier jail cell. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
We got
And
to
that's why they're
understand that.
trying to make. Hey, literally, they trying to make the prisons comfier. Where I was just at, they literally taking on the Scandinavian. What do they call it? The Scandinavian project. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Oh
because
Like
yeah.
they.
the
I
Scandinavian
do.
prisons is furnished by IKEA. That's why.
Yeah.
Let me
Exactly. They're literally trying to do that.
let me speak to that for a second. All right, in this country, you can go to driving school, right?
Yeah.
And you can get a discount on your driver's insurance. You can take defensive driving classes and get a discount on your driver's insurance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when you can go to reform school. You can go to manners etiquette school. These other, bartender school, and all these places that put you through some type of rigorous training for you to receive some type of accolade to be perceived better in society, right? Or treated
Mm-hmm.
better, or at least perceived better. So why is it that when one goes to a correctional facility, right, to be
Mm-hmm.
corrected, right, why is that person not perceived as somebody who is better or more well mannered than somebody who hasn't been corrected? You would think that I would get the same amenities that one would get if they went to driving school, if they went to etiquette school, if they went to the military or something like that. But this person has been to a correctional institution. That should be an accolade. That should be able to say, oh yeah, oh I see you've been to a correctional institution. Yeah. I went to a correctional institution. I'm well mannered. I'm civil. I learned how to resolve conflict without resorting to violence. I got a college degree. I got these things. I did all these kind of great things for myself while I was being
Right.
corrected in a correctional institution. So we had to
Right.
ask the question, why is it that you even call it a correctional institution in the first place if people come out on most of the times worse than they went in, and they're treated worse than when they were out?
Yeah.
So it's like shit. Damn the fucking prison time. The fucking record is worse than any fucking thing because now I got to live with this fucking record and this lifelong disdain for me wherever I go. People don't want to rent to me. People don't want to hire me. People don't want to be around me because I'm a convicted felon. Because you have a record and a PPP number and all that fucking bullshit. That shit's worse
Yeah.
than a fucking sentence. That shit follow you forever. So it's like, man, motherfuckers serve their time. All of that shit is supposed to reverse after I serve my time. Just like a military soldier serve their time and they can get a free bar in any fucking bar, a free beer in the bar. They can get a discount on their phone and shit like that. So if somebody went to a correctional facility, and let's not leave out the fact that you made the city or the state millions of fucking dollars while you was in that motherfucker.
Right.
Shit, why the fuck can't that nigga get a discount on his car insurance or discount on his cell phone bill? Because he went to a correctional facility to be corrected. How come he's not moved to the front of the line and given a good job? He's been to a correctional facility. He's been corrected. Well, maybe if y'all was actually correcting people in there, then that would be an accolade.
Yeah, for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Well, you know what's
Yeah.
hilarious about that? Well, not even hilarious. What's ironic? They didn't used to call them correctional facilities. The whole thing was based on penitence. That's why they called it the penitentiary, because you were
Right.
supposed to do your penitence. The first people who set up the prisons was William Penn and them. One of the oldest prisons is in Philadelphia. It's called Eastern State Penitentiary, and they actually put Al Capone was there. And one of the things that they mastered was leaving you by yourself. You really had to read the Bible and say your prayers. You did penitence and you sat there alone and dealt with the repercussions and ramifications of your crime. But that was when people had morals and what you say integrity. It's no integrity no more. So the whole penal system was based off a concept that don't really exist. Penitence, to be able to do your time for your crime and to be readmitted into society. That was the whole basis of the penitentiary. We remove you from society, we help you get over your issues, and then we reintegrate you into society with a fresh start. That's why it's called the penitentiary, because you were supposed to do your penance. You know what I mean? You make your amends. You get to know yourself a little better.
The respect that one gets when they come home from a bed, particularly from the criminal world, that respect should be universal across everybody because this person paid their pittance.
Right.
They did what they did. They did what they were supposed to do. You know, in terms of their religious doctrine. You know what I'm saying? So the penance has turned into penalty. So it's just penalty. Fuck the penance. Fuck if you reform. Fuck if you became a better person. Penalty. That's just all it is now. It moved from
And
penance to penalty. And it's crazy how it's like, look, that jail that they still got down there in Philadelphia, that's the first jail that they built in this country, allegedly. You know, if we're not factoring in fucking dungeons, like the dungeon that was found in Benjamin Franklin's house. But I digress on that. You know, look, my man E taught me that joke. You know what I mean?
I digress.
But
and that I digress shit is all over the world now, and I want my goddamn money.
That's right.
So they saying that that's the first penitentiary in the country, right? And people, they go there to visit that joint. Like they try to make it seem like it's only a Halloween thing, but people visit that joint all the fucking time. Damn near every day. They take kids to that joint.
Yeah.
Excuse me, they have their own clothing line. I happen to have a hoodie, Eastern Penitentiary. I don't know if you can see it right here.
It's crazy. Like to me, it's like, why is the penitentiary glorified? That
Eastern
shows
Penitentiary.
that shows the sadistic nature of this country.
Look, and on the back they have the prison outlined on the hoodie. Look,
the sadism, and the de facto Satanism that has been interwoven into this
see that
society.
Pope?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
like we go,
That's tight.
look, pun intended, interwoven into the society. So
Right. Like Alcatraz out here.
right, people go and they are awe stricken by prisons and penitentiaries. They're like, wow.
Yeah. Especially Alcatraz.
Wow.
The island
It's like,
prison.
why is that fascinating to you? Why would you even want to go somewhere where people was suffering and in agony?
Yeah, like Angel Island.
Like
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like that speaks to the sadistic mindset that people have, and they don't even know that they have it. Why is that appealing to you? Why do you want to go somewhere where people suffered, even died, tortured?
The same reason Russell Wilson is corny and toxic is Future is toxic, but he popular. Like somebody brought that up. I got this page that I follow called We Are the Culture, and it's really good because they have what I be trying to do, like, or what I talk about with you about taking things that the public like that it may be poison to us, or we may not be on that wave, or we don't want to bring that shit to light. But they take it and bring it up in a more cultural way. Like, okay, to me, Russell Wilson is a little corny, he a little nerdy, but at the same token, I'm bashing Russell Wilson for being a good man, for speaking correct English, for not having a posse, not wearing jewelry, not trying to be a rapper, and because his old baby mom got took by Future and is another one of Future's toxic women. He got 33 babies by 23 bitches, and some of them is real famous. And we, he's popular, but Russell Wilson is corny. So it's the same thing what you saying about the man come home from jail, he respected. The man come home from college, or what you think you my master. You know what I mean? You get more love from coming home from jail than you do for coming home from college. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of crazy right there. Let's think about that. People come home from jail, they get parties, they get packs, they get pussy, they get jobs, they get taken out. Very seldom do you come home from college. First of all, we got way more people coming home from jail than we do from college. I know that don't sound right, but it seemed right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, statistically, it might be more black guys in college than in jail, but it seemed like the ones who come home from jail get more props and get more promoted. They got more podcasts and more promotional deals. Let's be honest. He tell me this all the time. A lot of people tell me this all the time. God bless Wallow. I ain't got nothing but love for Wallow. However, he knows, and several other people know, I was doing that long before he got out of jail. The jail bid. The jail bid makes him more popular and relatable than I ever could be. Because the guy who goes to college don't get the props that the guy that go from the jail do. The guy that go to jail can speak on college shit because you could take college courses in jail. You could read college books in jail. Black men going to jail and being smart is a tradition going back further than Malcolm X. But because I go to college and because I can't speak on street shit, I've been in the street my whole life. I'm just not a street nigga. How could you possibly be a rapper? How could you possibly be a hip hopper and not also be a street nigga? Because the street niggas invented hip hop. Regardless of what we could say or what's been proven and alleged about Africa Bambaataa and Kool Herc are acknowledged as the godfathers and forerunners of hip hop. Did they or did they not create hip hop to cease the gangbanging that was going on in the South Bronx? From what I know about hip hop, Africa Bambaataa took all the toughest gangs in New York and formed them into the Zulu Nation, and they decided to have parties instead of gangbanging. I'm pretty sure that's how hip hop started. So at the beginning of hip hop, you had the fucking gangs. Fuck is you talking about? Secondly, when I lived this, so I know what I'm talking about. I was a struggling old school rapper in the streets with way more fame than I ever had money. The only dollars that any of us ever made was made from parties promoted by drug dealers and gangsters, because they're the only ones who had enough money to rent the halls, because this was before hip hop was popular. You had to rent the halls, pay the people, pay the promoters, pay the DJ, pay for the flyers. Who had that kind of money? Only the drug dealers. So all the drug dealers promoted parties in the 80s. Every hip hop party was promoted by a drug dealer or a gangster. And guess what else? No other clubs would have us. The only clubs we could go to was the fucking gay clubs. Mostly every hip hop club, Latin Quarter in New York, After Midnight in Philadelphia. You know what it was any other night that the hip hop wasn't there? A gay club. So all that's been going on since day one, too. So it just pisses me off when people want to come with this narrative about what has been allowed in hip hop and back in the day. This was 1985 I'm talking about. My junior year at West Catholic, I was 15 years old, snorting cocaine with half the JBM in a little ass movie theater in the After Midnight on 13th and Cherry.
I know I've seen some outfits from the 80s that are
Come
questionable,
on, man.
to say the least.
Come on, man. With shame, some of you niggas. They bet not. This is why they don't want me to have a podcast.
Not for nothing, your man Tupac had his nipples out. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Come on, listen. Listen. Every motherfucking comedian. Listen. Look how Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and them used to dress. Look at it.
Exactly. It's a lot of questionable.
With a big ass radio.
We got a nerve to talk about some of the young boys today when some of our heroes was in lipstick and drag.
I seen the cover of the Osley Brothers cover. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is these niggas doing? You know what I'm saying? So it go back longer than that. It's a lot of little zesty shit that been happening, that been normalized. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then it's normal stuff.
Type shit. Like,
normal stuff that been zesty. Normal stuff has been zesty.
Like, to keep it real, right? Because you can't just pin that on these new niggas, man. And a lot of zesty shit going on. That shit. Prince was zesty, man. Come on, man. Y'all know Prince is zesty.
He just got bad bitches, so everybody let it go.
Had his ass cheeks out. Like, come on, like, and niggas be trying to act like that was cool. Like, nah, Prince, yeah, bitches. Like, man, like, nigga, do you cut your ass jeans out your ass cheek?
Listen. I'm man enough to admit I had the hammer suit.
Like, who?
Like, everybody will. Yeah, had the protection jacket.
Listen. Who in our communities really went home and cut the ass cheek parts out their jeans?
Nobody.
Who the fuck did that?
Nobody straight.
So y'all
nobody straight.
Y'all be trying to act like that shit wasn't that, but I ain't seen no niggas walking around with their ass cheeks cut out. You know what I'm saying? So don't act like that shit wasn't super zesty. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out, man.
Yeah.
Look. What's true is true, man.
No shit I do. Yeah.
Y'all niggas been zesty for a minute, man. Y'all just normalize the shit, and y'all get niggas a pass. Shit. Well, how long ago did that photo? Look, niggas talking about Diddy and all of this shit, right? But look, let me show you how motherfuckers is cheerleaders, and, you know what I'm saying, and bandwagon riders, right? Remember how long ago was that photo leak of Lil Wayne kissing Baby in the mouth?
Man, that was way at the beginning.
That shit was around the Rap City era. This was like 2005.
Yeah.
2006.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was hell long ago.
Look. Now everybody want to be talking about all this shit now, pause and all this shit, right? But wasn't that a pause moment? And I remember distinctly. Dudes saying, "No, that's they on some mob shit." You can look around, you can look at that picture, look at the background, and niggas is looking like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Listen, man.
Bro, like from that point, niggas was like, bro, they gay.
Shame shame on you ninjas that co-sign that shit and out here talking this shit nowadays when y'all co-sign that shit when Wayne kissed baby in the mouth.
What?
Shame,
People still was listening to his music.
shame on all y'all who called everybody crazy, who told y'all we've been hearing them same stories about Puff since we was going down Howard in the 80s.
Right.
Shame on y'all.
Y'all disassociated yourselves with us. Y'all told us to take our videos down offline. You told people we was crazy.
Yeah.
All of this shit that we've been telling y'all, and now the shit is coming out. Just like just like this shit.
Yeah. Trying to Wendy Williams us.
I said this shit years ago. You listen to that song on the Life and Times of Sean Carter Volume 3. The thing is track 4, and he say on the song. Now, mind you, this is this around the time when he made not one but 2 albums with R. Kelly, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had this beef over Aaliyah and all of that, right? So on this song, right? On the song, Jay-Z say on the song, I give my pretty bitches dick, my young hoes PP. You know what I'm saying? Something like Michael Jackson. He go look at this shit.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Go look at this shit. When the block is hot, whatever the fuck song that shit is, track 4, Life and Times of Sean Carter, Volume 3. When he say,
I know the song you're talking about.
Dick, my young hoes PP. Now this is now remember his man. He did 2 albums with peed on the girl.
Yep.
So he said
I saw the tape.
I get my young bitches PP. Jay-Z said that shit on the song, but because people are so much cheerleaders, right, and bandwagon riders, somebody can rap to you lyrics and say, yeah, I'll give girls PP, and you ain't finding the problem with that.
Yeah.
Let me say this.
Now all of y'all who listened to that song and heard that lyric and ignored it, now y'all all acting shocked.
Let me say this, Red Pill. I'm 1,000% with you, but I think R. Kelly is a bigger victim than Jay-Z. But let me say this. Not in Jay-Z's defense, but in the people's defense, a lot of shit went over our head. I can vividly remember Biggie saying, don't you know my nigga Gutter kidnapped kids? Fuck them in the ass, throw them over the bridge.
Yeah.
I also remember Biggie saying,
go ahead, say it.
You look so good, I suck on your daddy dick. We all thought that shit was cool. Like, even if we paused it, we ignored it. Yeah. I let it slide. I ain't gonna hold you.
They had Decepticons in the video, in the Juicy video. They had Decepticons doing the robot. You know what I'm saying?
That's coming out now. Biggie was in the bed with a tranny. That's coming out. You know I saw the video.
Yeah.
Decepticons, man. They had Decepticons all around him. You know.
How about this? How about once Biggie found out what was going on, he wanted to leave, and that's why he got killed. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
No, I'm not gonna do all that shit with all you nasty niggas.
Man, listen, he can't. None of them dudes can't act like they ain't know what was going on.
They knew. It just when it got too real for them, they got the fuck up out of here.
They can't say now. What I can say is that they was involved in it because I wasn't there, so I don't know. But what I can say for a fact, none of them dudes can act like they ain't know what was going on.
Hey, Red Pill. Can we say that Macho and Will and several of them niggas from down 2nd Street and several of your homies from up Mount Airy, they know what you do. That don't mean they do it, right? They know you into being deep and being knowledgeable and all that. They not into that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing would be the same way I would have a problem with any of them niggas coming out trying to savage you for being deep or being whatever. He was that way when he was smoking weed and protecting y'all. So why y'all got a problem with it now? That's my problem with everybody that's coming out against Puff and this one and that one. You got all these undercover stories about him and Meek and him and Ja Rule naked in this one and that one and this one and that one. If it was so offensive to you, if it bothered you so much, why didn't you say something then? Because you was taking the money. You was taking the money. Soon as the man don't want to pay you your price, or as soon as he cross a line that you can't cross, or he did this to Usher, he did that to Justin Bieber. It was cool when he did it to them, but he did it to the chick. Now you don't like it, man. Fuck out of here, man. Like,
look, let's deal with reality and physics. A line can only be crossed one time. Facts. You can't cross the line once and twice. You only cross it once. So when somebody, as soon as they cross that line, that's when it's supposed to be done. Somebody don't cross the line and then come back across the line and then cross it again and come back and then after the 100th time, now you like, oh, you crossed the line. What line?
Right.
It ain't
we
no
been
line.
blurred.
There ain't no line.
This shit ain't in line no more. It's been not a line since the first
Right.
time they crossed the fucking line.
It ain't no line and we out of line.
Willing part when some shit go, you know how like when motherfuckers be looking on Google, they might have some symptoms and shit, and they look Google give you the worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying?
WebMD gonna tell you got AIDS.
Right. They'll tell you that if this symptoms last for more than 2 weeks, get help. Nigga, you about to die.
Yeah.
Get help. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right. So
right.
all right, it's just like this line that's being crossed. If you witnessing shit for more than 2 weeks, you are somewhere where you ain't supposed to be at. You know what I'm saying? It only take one time for that line to get crossed. But if you're seeing symptoms for 2 weeks, get the fuck out of there
Right.
because it's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? So y'all motherfuckers can't act like y'all didn't go to Flavor Camp and all these other places with dude and seen him do this and seen him do that and then write a book about it, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He might not have did it. He might not have did it to you, but y'all know he was doing it and didn't say nothing. That make you just as guilty.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you this.
You complacent. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. If somebody was doing shit like that around me, I wouldn't have enough material on them to write a book about it. Because
I wouldn't know.
My book gonna be this big because it's gonna be that one incident, and I got the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
seen that nigga once.
To say, oh yeah, and in January he did this. You was spending too much time around that motherfucker.
Yep, exactly. If you got that much
time that you become a willing participant.
Hey, look, just like how they say.
I always said you can't rape the willing.
Hey, but look, just like how what Eddie Griffin said. He was like, man, if you kidnap a motherfucker for over 2 days, then that's adoption. Because you got to feed and clothe that motherfucker. Things change. If somebody raped you more than twice, that's a relationship. You guys are in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like that.
Like even the security guards. You don't like let's say I'm talking to my homie on the phone and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go around this zesty ass dude. Yeah, he be doing all. Yeah, I'm gonna call you when I get off though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, come on. Your people in your circle is aware of your day-to-day tasks for the most part, unless you were part of the nefarious clandestine group, right? If you're part of the nefarious clandestine group, you can't tell nobody. Then that's different. So and that's what you're really dealing with right here. You got people who is loosely associated with these nefarious clandestines, right? And they don't want to keep it real about it, but they trying to tell this and tell that. But it's like, yo, you had to be down with them. They didn't just get random people to be like, hey, yeah, come and witness my hey, come over here and witness my
I can vouch for this 100% because I have always, because of my athletic and intellectual ability and my political connections, I've always been with the nefarious people. They just know not to get. It's like, okay, bang. This man is a great man for what we need done. We just can't control him. You know what I'm saying? It was quid pro quo for me. Y'all put me in this position. Actually, my talents got me in this position. Y'all want to use me. I'm going to use you to help my people. That was always my thing in whatever job I had. And the benefit to me, what I always tell Red Pill and other people, I'm kind of selfish. I'm a spoiled, rotten only child. It just so happens that I always felt guilty for having so much, having a mom and a dad, having food all the time, having new clothes. I always looked out for my friends. But I could admit that when I was younger, it was like a thrill for me. Like, Like, look at me, I got this and I'm helping this person, I'm helping that person. I never put it out there. I never embarrassed nobody, but it was a thrill that I got. And I realized that, I really like helping people. So helping people make me feel good. So it's hard for me to take the credit or take the love that people give me sometimes, because I tell them, I'm not really doing this for you. I do this for me. This makes me feel good. This makes me feel happy. And the minute it don't make me feel happy, I'm not going to do it, especially when I know deep down inside you don't really deserve it, because you don't know what love is. You've never really had love.
Now you say that.
You know what I'm
Remember you
saying?
always say to me. Now remember you always say to me that like, we having like real conversation now. But like, remember you used to always say to me, why do you do stuff for people that that don't mean well, they scumbags, they're not going to pay you back, why do you do this? You know what I'm saying? And that is the answer to your question. See, people don't understand what love is. They don't understand that true love is unconditional. It's like you don't excommunicate your kids and say, you know what, I don't want to talk to you no more. That's not love. So when somebody tell you that, oh yeah, way back when, dad used to talk to us, but he don't talk to us no more, you would think that is the scumbag dad. You would think that's a deadbeat daddy. What you mean dad used to talk to us way back when? He ain't never talked to me. Well, yeah, he used to talk to us way back when, but he don't talk to me no more. He stopped. He got mad he got mad at one of his kids, and he decided not to talk to the rest of his kids for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be cool. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So
Yes,
if
sir.
that's a part of your doctrine, that's kind of crazy. But it's like, like we have to we got to find ways to thoroughly communicate with each other to get off of this kind of bullshit. If you get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We got to ruthlessly check ourselves. Like, my youngin gave me this book, The Invalidator, and I realize that I invalidate people all the time, in the sense that for whatever reason, I make them feel like what they doing. They seem like I point out all their flaws and don't give them no credit for their strengths. And my thing with that is always, when you want to do something, young man, or when you want to do something, young woman, nothing can stop you. You only have problems when it forces you to move outside of your comfort zone or challenge your reality. That's when you have a problem, because you don't want to change. You want everything to be easy. And I understand, because I used to be that way too. I never really knew struggle till I was 48 years old. What I thought was a struggle wasn't a struggle. The only way I survived was because when I was doing all that stuff and helping all them folks and living their life, being in the Badlands, being in Kensington, always being able to ride home to West Philly, I put myself in their position, and I got strength from them, realizing they was dealing with shit I could have never dealt with in a million years. My dad being in jail, my mom having to work 2 or 3 jobs, being a parent at 9, 10 years old, having to basically pick up my brother and sister from school. All that shit I ain't know nothing about, bro. I admired their strength. You know what I'm saying? That's why I felt guilty. I always made sure everybody had Jordans and chains, because I'm like, damn,
But
I'm
see,
getting
see, the
damn
thing
near.
is, the thing is like what you said. Like, all right, like these things that we done is not the virtue signal. It's not to prove a point. We were on our own path to righteousness, and on that path to righteousness is not without philanthropy at some point in time. Sometimes I got it, sometimes I don't. And on that, and also on that road is you have to be willing to receive help also. That's a part of it. That's an equal part of it. Where it's like, all right, we everybody loves to be in a position to help somebody, but some of us is too stubborn to be in a position to receive help even when we need it. But that's a
You
part
want
of
to
the
know
journey.
you want to know why? Because when I was with them political people, I'm not going to throw nobody under the bus. I mean, you might know him, you might not. The point of the matter is, I told a guy one day, I said, bro, you the type of person.
You all right? You good? I ain't gonna hold you. It's kind of spooky. What the fuck just happened? Hey, yo, man. Yo.
Yo.
No, I was just seeing what's happening to E. Look like the Grays just got him, man. Pun intended. You know, but I hope that's him right there. Kind of an odd shaping head there, but I don't know, man. You know what I mean? But he just tapped out. I guess his phone probably died or something. But are you having some technical difficulties? Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think we can wrap this shit up. You know what I mean? Everybody's tapped out. I'm ready to tap out. And look, you crossed that threshold into the morning. You know what I mean? So if you come across vital information, it's your obligation to share with the nation. You know what I mean? So, with that said, it's better to know something than believe it. You know what I mean? Truth is undefeated. You know, only you can prevent cognitive dissonance. You know what I mean? So with that said, I say peace and benedictions, and we out.